We are.
All right. Oh, so like we're going?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, welcome to another installment of Roll for Revelry. My name is AJ, your friendly neighborhood DM, and we're Roll for Revelry. And we're gonna play some D&D. We do have a ongoing, persistent campaign, and thank you for joining us. We're going to go around the table for some quick introductions and a fun fact, not that one that you did not say last week, about your character.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. So you just got to make something up, and if you
Okay.
do make it up, it's canon.
I am Lindsay. I play Orla Bitterfoot, who is a homebrew character, but she is a frost bard gnome. Last week, I gave a little tidbit on her loot. This week, I'm going to say that her more purpose right now is to kind of find her lost love. That's what she's going for. If, in case you guys
Classic
didn't
lost
see.
love situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep, she's here with the gang to help out, but she had some heartbreak. She needs some answers.
All right.
I'm Gina. I'm playing Narnet Dingle, who is a rock gnome rogue. Her family during the emergence was affected by some food insecurity. And as a result, her parents were always kind of like stingy with food. So she's developed some kind of food hoarding tendencies. And always has snacks in her backpack that she's not really willing to share with others because of that lasting effects of the emergence from her family.
With the exception of teriyaki jerky.
I wasn't actually gonna get. I was using my deception,
Got it.
which she's also proficient in.
Lying to
There
the
you
dragon.
go.
I'm never gonna give him jerky.
Okay, so Dan.
I am Dan. Play Marxus, a kind of homebrew variant of a monk, a tabaxi monk. Fat Cat is the variant kind of subclass that we're kind of calling it. Marxus is actually, comes his past as a brewer kind of adjacent individual with Tolkien. Before that, he was a street rat.
What's
Street
that?
cat. Scoundrel.
Take that.
Take that. And one thing that he used to, and he's always kind of fighting this thing, is that whenever he sees something shiny, he's kind of like a goblin in a way. Ooh, look at this kind of trinket. Ooh, how can I get it? How can I steal it? And it's always something that he's kind of fighting against.
It's like a laser pointer.
Yeah. Or like a bird. Anytime I see treasure, I go
You become a dolphin?
No, like
bird noises.
Oh.
Or
cat.
cat noises.
whatever.
Jumping?
Chuffing.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait. Don't lions, is it tigers? I think it's big cats. They chuff because they can't meow.
They can't purr.
Or they can't purr, so they
Yeah.
chuff.
I think
They do.
leopards are the biggest cat that can purr,
Yes.
and then all other big cats
They can't purr, so they chuff.
are purrless.
Yes. Fun fact.
Peerless.
Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Bob's not with us. He's with us via the internet today. So
Virtual.
Spoilers, thanks to magic and the internet. I'm there but not there. But yeah, I'm Bob. I'm playing Kata, who is a dragonborn Drake Warden, which is like a Heth's class, but it's essentially a ranger with a dragon companion. Question, AJ, are you writing down all these? Because my canon making machine goes pretty wild sometimes. I want to make sure I'm not repeating or
yeah,
contradicting myself. Okay.
yeah, I'm well aware of what your characters aren't.
So, fun fact about Kata is currently the version of Kata that you guys know is pretty weak. Dragons derive their strength from their purpose, And the closer they are, and the more steadfast in their like, I don't want to use the devotion, I guess, to that purpose, the stronger they become. So that's why like wild dragons are pretty rowdy, is because they have like a single mind lizard brain that's really wise, but like focused on one tap. And that's why dragons specialize, generally based on their scale, coloring, but not always. And it's also how they stayed safe during the emergence, because they were like, we have one task, it's fight off these giant, scary things. So they got super buffed. So Kate is kind of a wanderer, which makes him weaker in that sense, currently.
Huh. That's
All
really
right.
cool.
He just wanted to say that Kate is buff.
Yeah. You're still badass, but you're like not as badass as you can be.
I think I'm like perpetually stunted in that way, though, because like I didn't grow up traditionally dragonborn or traditionally dragon. So I think like
Just traditionally born.
Yeah.
Would you say you're having a born identity crisis?
If you were to pick a religion, it would be born again.
Oof.
no, I'm trying to figure out how I can work the word hatched in there somewhere, but
Well, some people just can't hatch it, you know?
Yeah, you carry 2 hatchets. Excellent. So, so last week, quick recap of our session 16. Marxus found that their new Rhodesian, Rodarian, pardon me, companion seemed very similar to the one that he found dead in a room prior. He confronted this and was met with confronted it with hostility, and was met with a quick escape from this Rodarian. You guys kind of lost him. He had a little bit of a higher stealth, and with some confusion, there was also an attack from the Intellect Devourer. One came and attacked him. So, there was a little bit of confusion going on there. Yeah, in fear of the group, the Rodarian fled into the darkness ahead. The group stepped deeper into the curious cavern in attempt to find him, and came across several pools with liquid and small tadpole-like creatures in them. You proceeded to meticulously kill most of them to test a theory that they may have some elemental traits, specifically for Marxus's new wraps, his new magic item that can absorb elemental traits and kind of use that as a secondary attack or supplemental attack. Tracking the Rodarian, he ventured further into the cavern, came across blood-like flowing sounds and murmuring and talking. Kind of this thrumming noise throughout the cavern. You investigated and stealthily found the source of all the trouble you've been encountering. A Mind Flayer and a Elder Brain, with several Rodarians as their thralls. One, in particular, was mutated and grotesquely large. You found these beings in the cavern with Carvin, at your side. After the battle, you all deduced that the Mind Flayer was the Rodarian in disguise, and that this brain was the cause of the strife of Acris that Acris was under. You found a robe with some patches on it. You found a bluish, blackish, kind of spacey looking pearl. And then you found your way back to Acris. You told the guards of what happened, and they gave you a place to stay. So you are all currently in the guards' quarters in the royal suite of the city of Acris, the underground Rodarian or rat folk city that has been subterranean, and you guys don't necessarily know how many days it's actually truly been, because you have not seen the sun. So,
Vegas.
as you all awake, you find yourself in simple guards' quarters, handful of cots, handful of chests around, and you are. You all like to do?
Oh, man.
I wanna first thing in the morning, since I know like it has been at least 24 hours since we left the cauldron, and we had deduced that the cauldron, like you can look into it, and somebody had like she had the witch in the witch had like filled a bottle and then like shook it and it became a greater health potion. I'm gonna aggressively shake all 10 of the bottles of the cauldron juice that I have.
You quickly aerate all these bottles,
Ah.
and you have the bubbles kind of flow and not emulsify, kind of blend with the liquid for some time, and then they settle to the surface, creating a strange foam on top.
We did do a long rest, right? Because we stayed.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, you all have long
Just wanted
rested.
to make sure.
Make sure you guys all have that going on.
Yes, it's all reset. Thank goodness.
What accent
voice.
is that?
I don't know.
Is that Orla's
Thank
accent,
goodness.
finally?
No.
Thank
No.
Thank
That
goodness.
is great.
Oh, no, she is not.
My
She's from
achy,
the
breaky
she's,
heart.
she's from the mountains. So.
That was so many levels, too, though.
Just don't think. Understand.
Oh boy.
Do the bottles change color at all? The liquid
No.
inside of them?
No.
Damn.
I think, guys, that we should maybe go back to see that witch
Yep.
to get that cauldron because we got more of that brain juice, right?
I
Yep.
want that. Yeah, we sure
want
do. I
that.
have one bottle of acidic brain juice. I also have a bottle that has one of the baby creatures in
Ooh,
it, which was
she might like
either
that.
a lesser younger brain or a
What's
whatever
that?
those creatures were that would like
The stingray
Oh,
things?
the
yeah
stingray.
the stingray face huggers.
I could see that. The stingray face huggers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. It's good bartering tools.
And then I have the patched robe from wherever.
Okay.
And then AJ, I got a question about my wraps.
I have an answer.
Are they still acidified right now?
Yes.
Okay, so
They
it's
will
not
be
like-
acidic until you, for a short rest, change them.
Ah, okay.
That's cool.
And it can hold up to 3 different elements, and I can only choose one at a time to have it be
Yes.
cool.
God, that's so
While
cool.
dormant, they can hold 1 at a time, or 3 at a time.
All right, but then once I choose one, then the other 2 go away.
If you choose, no, they can. You can switch in between them. It takes an hour for you to kind of concentrate on that form of the wrap. But if you were to gain a 4th, acid would go away.
Gotcha. Cool.
I mean, do we need to? How much did we brief these guards last time? Like, did we?
You tell me. It was kind of a rushing moment where we ended, as far as the metagame aspect of it. So you're more than welcome to tell me how much or how little you informed the guards.
I would say we gave them a good idea of what had happened, but we might want to talk to them a little bit before we leave too.
Did we like explicitly explain that it was a mind flayer and an elder brain that plane shifted away, and they were like something was going on in this ritual chamber?
Yeah.
Also, did we hype up Carvin enough? Because we want him to be
Yes!
Right.
Forgot.
And he-
Carvin, if we didn't have him, we probably wouldn't have won that fight.
He's
Like,
carving them up.
what an NPC.
And he needs to be the leader because he knows what happened. So, like, he's the leader. That's less, briefing
Right.
that has to take place.
Yeah, we could just be like, "Oh, you want to talk to King Carvin?
Right.
He's the man with the plan.
King Carvin.
He's the mouse who needs to sit in the big house.
Wow.
He's the mouse with the house.
Yes.
He's the rat that should lead the pack."
So good.
All right.
All right, cool.
So you said all of these things and
Yeah.
these sayings to the guards, and they were like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But the end of the conversation actually did seem to take Carvin as a candidate of sort. And there was a fair amount of respect given to him.
Good. So shall we go chat with the guards really quickly and then make our way to the witch?
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, the way that it works in this kingdom is that there's 4 like voting bodies, right? That like elect a king, and then they get together and they have like a moot, and then they choose the king. So if we wanted to maybe like convince a couple of those, maybe at least 2 or 3,
We can do that.
that Carvin is the man for the job.
Do some what do they call that when people go campaigning for Carvin?
Champagning and campaigning. Let's go.
For Carvin. All right. Cool. Let's go chat with these guards real quick.
You approach just any guard, or you guys?
No, I want
to
to go to like the head guard and like kind of chat with him about more what was happening.
So you head up to the throne room that you are familiar with right now, and you meet with the head guard who is on duty there, kind of dealing with what needs to be dealt with as far as some of these smaller aspects of the city. Kind of working as a intermediary, or an interim. That's the term, right? Interim, role
King Pro
to
Tem.
govern.
So I'm gonna go up to him and I'm gonna say thank you so very much for your accommodations last night. We definitely needed a place to rest and recoup after that tough battle that we were just in.
He says, "Yeah, thank you. We're happy to help on as far as the situation goes. We've sent a excavation team to kind of clean up, and frankly, no offense, but to verify that what you said is true. But we've sent them into that area, and we are doing our best to stay afloat right now before a new king is voted in."
Everything just seemed like a rush yesterday. We just want to make sure that we got all the correct information to you as well, about the mind flare and the elder brain and all of that, that they did indeed get away. So we just want to make sure that you guys are aware of that, so that if they, if anything weird starts to happen, you know where that probably is coming from or who it's coming from.
Yes, we've definitely taken that into mind. We are working with some of those that can manipulate magic to kind of create a alarm of sort if something were to happen like that again, with some fallbacks as well if individuals were to be charmed or influenced in that way.
Good. We were wanting to go around the city a little bit to kind of just check things out before we left. I know that you had said, and we speak very highly of Carvin. He is. We would not have been able to win that battle without him. I know we talked to you about that a little bit last night, but
yes, and while you kind of explained before heading out of the help that Carvin can bring, there were several members of the guard that had questioned his ability to perform under pressure, and your stories from last night actually encouraged those individuals to lean towards Carvin. While initially it was kind of, we were allowing this kind of aspect to be entertained, it seems a lot of the guard are on that side. A new face, aside from those that have been kings and queens in the past, certainly a good change. The king that was killed did not have any true heirs, and typically that's the way that we have selected these individuals. While yes, it is an election and everything, there has been strong amounts of sway because of their positions and their hierarchy. But I think the guard certainly wants to see a new face and some new blood, and Carvin has proved himself.
Now, if we wanted to do like additional campaigning for him, I know you spoke of these like 4 districts. Whereabouts would we go if we wanted to
Well,
give a
they're
little boost for him?
not quite locational districts. You'll need to speak to our head of resources, who acquires things we need as far as food, hunting. We have our head of commerce, who deals with all the trade in the area. We have the head of mining and excavation to expand the city. And we have myself, the head of the guard. And as far as the head of mining, they have come to understand that Carvin was integral in the aspects of relieving the influence of the mines. And they heard somebody shouting around in the city at one point. And it caught their eye and seemed to have influenced the sway.
Okay.
So I would say that the head of resources and the head of commerce are the ones that you need to kind of influence in some way.
All right.
And in reality, you have the vote of the guard, and it seems you have the vote of the mining if you are campaigning for this Carvin, and maybe just one that you need to speak to.
Perfect. Well, again, thank you so much for all of your help. Is there anything that you guys need to...
Yeah, I wanted to say thanks again. Echo what my friend here Orla is saying. Sorry when I was king for a brief but mighty moment. Sorry I tried to have your guards kill you. I thought that they would listen to their king. And now I understand it's a little bit more of a more of like a monarchistic democracy, if that's like a thing. We cool? Man, we cool?
Yeah, I guess we're cool. I mean,
Cool.
I'd prefer you leave.
Well,
He says it
I get that.
kind of like that, but
I get that. Can I give you a hug first?
I mean, not really the hugging type.
So, but did you say you make an exception for me?
He kind of just pats you on the back real quick, but doesn't quite go in for the whole. It's like a half hug.
I sneak a high five,
Okay.
crisp high five into one of his back, and I do like a little like I have the acid gloves on still, so it's like a really nice like really crisp. You know when you give a really high five and it kind of burns your hand for a second.
Stings a little.
Oh, it
Yeah.
stings a
Because
little
of
bit
the
because
acid.
of the
A
acid.
little bit of like a
That's
like a
great.
whack.
All right.
I love that. Solid high five.
Yeah. He just kind of, yeah. Okay. Well, do you
I'm
need
gonna-
anything to get on your way, or can I help you in any?
No, we're good.
Okay.
You've done enough for us.
Yeah.
We will. We'll be on our way. Appreciate you so very much.
Yes. Yeah. And likewise. But
Unless you have some snacks for my friend.
you're
Turkey?
more than welcome to head to the kitchens if you'd like. There's not. I mean, we ask you not to raid them, but I feel like if you need a ration or two, we can send you on your way with them. You can gladly leave with a few rations.
Gladly leave.
I feel like it's really kicking us out the door here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have things to.
I know
attend
you're
to,
so busy. You're so busy.
and we don't have a king
Yes.
right now, so I kind of need to step in a role larger than myself.
Okay, Narn, if you can get all the snacks you
Doing
want.
a great job.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Thanks.
If you ever wanted snacks.
I've already gone to the kitchen and gotten to go get jerky. I'm already out the door.
All right.
He's gone.
So quick question, guys. Did we ever ask Carvin if he actually wants to be king or not?
The
No.
reluctant kings are always the best ones.
Does he want to do? Were you just pushing him into this position that he doesn't want to do?
Yep.
Because he'd be perfect for it.
But he doesn't. What if he doesn't want to do it?
I thought we convinced him before we left of just like, hey, before we left the chamber of just like, hey man, like, even if you don't want to be king, that's what would make you a really good king is because like you'd constantly be proving it to yourself, you know? And he was all like, about it.
Okay. Well, I think if we were going to go talk to anybody, it should be the head of resources because Carvin has been helping to bring resources in.
Yes.
But
But
we
would that
shouldn't
get him
say
in
that.
trouble? Yeah.
I don't know.
We can just say how accommodating he was to us, to make making sure that we were well
And helping
fed
us
and
get
taken
stolen
care of,
resources.
and
He was very resourceful with that sword that Kata gave him. Where is Kata?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go follow him and see if we can help him find some snacks.
I think he already got them.
At this time, I come bursting back in with bowls of jerky.
A bowl?
My God.
It's
Hey
where
guys.
Whoa!
That's our clear enough. Yes.
Got some snacks.
All right, add a bowl full of jerky to your inventory. Do you take the bowl or just the jerky?
Just the jerky.
All right, a bowl's worth of jerky.
All right.
Okay, roll a d12.
Seven jerkies.
Add 10 jerky to your inventory.
Do you think that's in inventory? Like teriyaki jerky?
No,
No.
I don't. I would just write it down somewhere or add it to that very bottom part.
All right. So let's try to see if we can find the head of resources. Go chat with them.
Okay.
What's the plan? Do we want to say? Just like how accommodating he was to us and making sure that we were well taken care of. So we know that he's going to be mindful of the people, making sure that they're all very well taken care of, type of thing.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I agree with Narnip.
Cool. Let's go.
Okay.
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 Where are you going?
We're heading to the head of resources.
And the head guard told you where they were going to be?
They did not. So we are outside of the head guard's area.
I'm gonna poke my head back into the guard quarters and go, hey!
You just
I know, just we're looking for the head of resources, the resources department, resources and directions. We're looking for some R&D. Help us out. Where do we go to get out of your hair fully?
head to the Dusk's Den. You'll find them there.
And what direction is that?
Oh.
There's signs?
Yeah. You can head south of the Traded District. You'll enter the entire district of the Dusk Den, and there is an office right in between the two districts.
Okay. Thanks for your help. I hope the rest of the day is as pleasant for you as you've been to be around. Bye!
It's complicated. You guys head to the Dusk Den district.
Yes.
And right as you head through the city, you guys are kind of heading south through the trade district, and you can kind of see a number of small little shops and stalls. There's smaller items that you can get. You follow the trail, and to what would be the east would be the path towards the Weaver's Gate, which is where you found, or would have found, or found the witch-like person that owns a shop just outside the city proper. You head further south and enter the Dusk Den district. There is a small office just outside of that, and the Dusk Den seems to be a more industrialized area. There's larger buildings, and this seems to be one of the smaller of those larger buildings. All of the buildings are working in some form of processing to take acquired goods and make them consumable in some way. There's textile factories, there's butchers, there's smiths, but not necessarily shops proper. It's just kind of the manufacturing aspect of the city.
So I'm gonna go up to the door of this office.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna knock at it.
All right, you knock on the door, and shortly after, a small nose pokes its way through the door, and you hear, "Yes, what can I do? How can I help you?"
Hello! Are you the head of resources?
Yes, who sent you?
No one. We just came here to speak to you personally about who we would like to sponsor to be king.
Oh, is that time already?
Yes.
Oh, well, then please come in, and I'd ask you to be brief. I have plenty to do.
Okay. So we have become close with this one particular person named Carvin. And we think that he would be best suited for this king position, just because of how accommodating he was to us, making sure that we were well fed and taken care of, and he really cares about the people of the city as well.
Okay, and what can he do for resources?
Well, he knows the city in and out. He knows the people in and out, so he knows exactly what the people would need resources. Why?
Well, there's plenty of people that know the people, and particularly, there's a number of individuals that would love this seat, and they all know the people as well. They're people of Acris, and there's not really people that aren't from Acris around here.
If I may, I'm so sorry. Marxus, monk extraordinaire, and
okay.
Friend to all rats, even though I'm a cat. Resources is like how you kind of build your society, right?
I mean, we kind of supply our society.
Yeah. If there was only a way to know how to supply your society the best, wouldn't that make you the most resourceful?
We supply it with what we can.
Right, but if there was a way to get more supply, we think Carvin has the best ways to do that.
How exactly does he?
He has a 3-point plan for creating growing resource levels in the city of Acris.
And are you familiar with this plan? Please go on.
Absolutely. Point number 1. Way more outside trade.
Outside trade?
Yeah, so
You
that
can't
you
trust
don't have...
anyone outside.
So you'd rather trust a bunch of smugglers. Interesting.
So where do you get your resources from?
Well, we hunt, and we have farms, and there's a number of different places all around, and we gain all that information, or gain all those resources from there.
And you're 100% sure that all of these people are getting those resources from where they say that they do, and that from outside trade?
Well, yes, there's contraband, obviously, but we're trying to do our best to get rid of all of that.
How are you farming without sunlight?
Well, there's plenty of things that grow without sunlight.
Like mushrooms?
But
Like mushrooms, and there's very particular subterranean plants, and there's a number of creatures that live down here that we can feed off of as well.
Carvin is an ambassador. He connected with us who are from above the surface, and I am confident that he would be able, in his 3-point plan, to further make connections and be an ambassador for your people, so that you may have a broader array of foods to choose from and partnerships with farmers on the surface who would trade with you and purchase some of your delicious mushrooms, which we had the pleasure
Right.
of eating this morning for breakfast.
Yes.
And you could have just like
So good.
a booming trade.
You
Under
two roll
Carden's plan.
persuasion checks.
Very good.
Come out, dice.
Yeah.
Got it.
7.
8.
Goes, I understand you're not from around here. And there are plenty of reasons we should not trust outsiders.
Could you give me one of those reasons, please?
Well, first and foremost, they enslaved us. We were created in servitude for them. Why should we trust anybody that was forced servitude? Forcing servitude.
I absolutely understand, and that is definitely a fair statement and feeling to have. But I do also feel that a lot has changed since that has happened. I mean, you guys are allowing us to be here. We are outsiders. We come from above, and we have been down here helping your people as well. And there are plenty of other people on the service that are also good people and trustworthy people.
Well, yes, fine, but I do not believe that we will be working towards any outside trade anytime soon. So, yes, a part of this 3-point plan. Is there a point 2 or 3 to the 3-point
I am
plan?
so happy that you asked, because point number 2 is to take back from their aggressors. Long have you dwelled in the subterranean vaults. No longer shall you be required to be underground. Carvin is a skilled warrior, and he, with the help of all of his friends that he's been building, will raise an army to protect all of those resources that you hold so dear. And by protecting those resources you hold so dear with a fine array of skilled warriors, the value on all of those resources will rise. And so, too, will your standing in the world.
Persuasion check.
With advantage, maybe?
No way, Miss Zoe.
11?
He goes, well, if we could take from them and not necessarily have to barter, then I guess we could certainly have the upper hand and, gain our prosperity as well as reducing theirs. Yeah, okay.
And
okay.
point 3
Continue.
in the 3-point plan of King Carvin the Conqueror. Sounded cool.
I love it.
You're like surprised at yourself.
If you and all of us together as these strong warriors that you so are here in Akris, and if you go up there and you just conquer again, does that make you any more than those who pushed you down here in the first place? Step number 3 is to rise above not only just the level of the crust of the earth, but to rise above in a way that, anybody know how people rise above? Just to be better and to use your history and to learn from it and to be just the best that you can be. And Carvin, the King Carvin the Conqueror, long may he reign, will not only be a justiciar of justice, but he will actually be a chief justice of supreme justiciability as well. In fact, his 3rd point is to treat those as you would like to be treated. One would call it the golden rule of Akris. Can I get a yes?
While he's saying all of it, I'm with. I'm standing there, like, starting to play, like, just very patriotic, like, music behind what he is saying. And I want to give him some bardic inspiration.
All right.
Cool.
We're going to give you this one. Oh, wait. We're going to give you that one.
Excellent. Wow, look at that. This is our new inspiration tokens, courtesy of AJ.
Your bardic inspiration token.
Bardic inspiration tokens, pardon me.
I'm saying there may be inspiration tokens in the future, and I don't want you to get them confused because the bardic inspiration are much small, not much smaller, but probably about half the size as a normal inspiration token.
Oh.
So what?
Dope.
What's your inspiration die that you're giving me?
Isn't it a 1d8? Yeah, or 1d8. It's a d8.
As I feel the
Odd.
music kind of hit from behind me, it gives me a gust, and I kind of start to stand a little more upright. And I have my gloves, they start to glow with a little bit of like a green acidity and like a little bit of acrid smoke kind of coming off of them as well. And I look at this Prince of Commerce, or excuse me, of Resources, and I say, "Who's with me? Can I get a yes?" And as there's greenish smoke coming off of my fist.
Roll a persuasion check.
We're gonna add that
There you
inspiration
go.
for sure. Oh. 16?
He looks at you, goes,
3-point plan.
"That was a magnificent performance." He rolled a 3.
So you are with me, my friend.
Well, we'll see. I don't necessarily believe that the 3-point plan has all of the kinks worked out just yet. But if this is the direction that Carvin wants to be going, and then by all means, I think that we could definitely try it out. There's certainly ways that we can remove him from the throne as well.
Who is Carmen running against? Who else would you vote for?
Well, there's a number of individuals that every time there's a opening, so to speak, in an elected position, there's a number of people that want to or think that they can do better than the last or better than the others. One of which is is actually the head of commerce, and is running against Garvin. And
So let me tell you about. Oh,
You mean
go ahead, Gator.
the circus dweller that masquerades as a rat?
We saw him at the bar last night, and not only was he wasting resources left and right, he is absolutely from the surface. He told Kata all about his being from the surface and his plan to lead your city astray.
and how many points did his plan have?
0. He has no plan. He's a terrible candidate.
He has a 1-point plan, and it is only to help himself. No golden rule whatsoever.
Everybody make a deception check, not Lindsay, because you haven't said anything.
I was about to be like
23.
17.
19.
Ooh!
He goes, well, we must spread news of this right away.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And
We can do that, Kata.
Oh,
The leg,
nothing.
the layup.
He's gonna come here. I cast thaumaturgy, and in booming voice, I start proclaiming into the caverns. The head of commerce is a surface dweller. Where was he born? Nobody knows. Where is he from?
oh my god,
Definitely the surface. Have you ever seen him? Have you not seen him? He could be on the surface. You should be scared and frightened, and then you should react angry at the head of commerce, the surface dweller.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
he's not a surface dweller. Heard Carvin was from here his whole life. Amazing. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I wouldn't vote for a surface dwelling thief. I heard he run illegal cheese operation out of his basement.
make a performance
Done.
check. Oh my gosh,
Can I help him?
how would you be helpful?
I'm like standing behind him and just like, yeah, dude, yeah, keep going. Hype manning.
You can roll a performance check as well, and it may impact his performance.
Ooh, it probably won't be good though. I'm gonna let you do it. I'm not gonna.
No, yeah, it was not good. Oh, it was a 3.
Oh, okay. So you go shouting this
Oh my god.
fear tactics misinformation, and the number you're not necessarily in a highly populated district. A lot of people are working, but there is this kind of sense that as people are working, there's this intercom effect that is just shouting through it and resonating through the district of shouting against the commerce. So yeah, that happened. But
I'm sure them working in a factory too. It might be really loud, so they might have like little headphones on. So half of them probably didn't even hear anything.
I mean, there's not a lot of machinery.
Right.
Bunch of liberal bullshit, Frank. Don't worry about it.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Damn politics every time.
Oh my goodness.
What would y'all like to do?
I am going to. Does anyone? What do we?
It sounds like the head of resources is behind Carvin, and maybe we leave well enough alone here, guys.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna shake their hand and say thanks so much for your time.
Yes.
You're a busy person, so Will, just get out of the way.
That's what I've told you.
All
I
right.
shake his little paw as well, and I say, thank you again for hearing out King Carvin the Conqueror's 3-part plan for prosperity. Just one quick question. The leader of commerce, what's their, do they have any vices by any chance? Do they like,
I don't know. Why would I know the vices?
just wondering if they were into
What?
like German beer ladies or anything like that. Or-
What? What is German?
Oh, it's like if you're really dirty and you don't take a shower for a while, and then you
Jeez.
see a hermit, like a human that doesn't do that for a while, they'd be a germ man.
I think that was a germ joke and nothing against
Germ.
anybody from Germany. Just AJ talking to the world right now. I apologize
Germ.
on Marx's behalf.
It's a germ. Man.
We're gonna get out of your hair now. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Oh,
Best of
yep.
luck with your voting.
And he kind of gets back to his work, scribbling and scrawling all over these papers on his desk.
All right. So, I think we need
Okay.
So to the witch.
the witch we go. Which witch?
To the witch. To the witch. Let's go.
Oh. Perfect. So we're gonna mosey on our way back to the trade district and where that witch was at. Her little hut.
So you head to the trade district, and then the Weaver's gate. And just outside the Weaver's gate, again, you guys kind of see the city come down to a less of a bustle. It's kind of this sparse spreading of buildings as you enter a kind of large room-ish, sewery kind of feel that you guys all kind of saw in the Meyer district. And yeah, and
Dude.
yep. That's why I'm just gonna put it out there and see if you guys bite like it's a bad joke. Yeah, so you find yourselves to the familiar shop, hut-like shop. And what would you like to do?
I'm just gonna enter.
You just walk right in,
Yeah.
and they're sitting on a chair with a cat in their lap. Is the same scrunched up kind of blind lady that you are familiar with.
Hello again. We come bearing goods for you. Something we think you'd really like.
What have you for me?
Oh yeah, me, yeah. We have multiple gifts. First of which, just for having us in your audience, is one beautiful bottle of acidic brain juice.
Acidic brain juice?
Yeah.
What have you done to it?
Well, it's not like basic. You know, it's more advanced than basic.
Yes, I'm well versed in the acidity and
It's brain juice.
yes,
got
but
a
you
little bit of
added acid to it?
No, well, it... So, those gloves that you told us, those wraps, you got some acid on the brain juice, and I squeezed it into the bottle.
Well, give it here. Let me see.
Well, what do you have for us?
I need to make sure that it's still usable.
Oh, okay. And I hand her the patched robe and the short sword and the brain juice.
Oh, okay. Short sword.
There was a short sword that I picked up as well
Okay.
with the
I
patched
didn't
robe.
even remember that. I'm like, I got a sword.
I forgot it until I wrote down robes and short sword.
So she takes the robes and the short sword and the brain juice, and she holds up the brain juice and shakes it, and then unscrews the cap. I assume it's like a mason jar, right?
Yep.
All right. Sure.
Yep.
Looks at it in the light, even though she's blind. She tastes some of it.
What?
Screws on the cap again. It will do. And as we said, she walks over to the cauldron and waves her hand over it. And as her hand makes a full circle around the rim of the cauldron starts to shrink.
Oh my god,
And
that's so
collapses
cool.
into a 6-inch by 6-inch tiny little cauldron
Oh
with,
my
the,
god.
with a lid on it. So it looks like almost like a little teapot with no spout and a little handle.
Oh
And hands it over to you.
Cute.
I love
How did you do the hair thing? How did...
Oh, it's part of the thing. It's the thing. It does it. I don't do it.
Oh, so we just caress it lightly and it will expand back?
I think so. I've only ever made it small once. Just now.
that. Just
Oh, wait. So if we keep it small, will it be like a little seeing eye thing?
What? Like
We don't have to use
like a
as much liquid?
spyglass?
Yeah, we don't have to use as much liquid, and we can still get the kind of effect of it.
We don't have to use
I'm
any
not
liquid.
sure you're as well versed. Does anyone? She kind of takes it back away from you, and she
Okay,
goes, "Does
good.
anybody?" Okay.
Put it in my bag. Do you have any special care instructions or warnings?
You can add the Cauldron of Reincarnation to your.
How
That sounds cool.
reincarnation. Dang.
To your inventory, and that's in and
What?
I said it's in your phone.
Oh, okay.
I was mumbling the words of the app that we use.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, so she said, well, it was brain juice, and you've given me more. Is there anything else that you had your eyes on?
Could you tell us what this is? And I show her the golf ball sized orb with the blue swirls inside that I picked
Oh
up.
yes.
She looks at it and holds it up to the light again, and you're like, you've kind of got this sense that she can see, but probably can't. She can't see in the conventional sense. I don't know what that means, but I don't think anyone
I
does,
do.
so we're just gonna leave it at that. She says, it's a pearl of power. If you were to use or lose some of your magical abilities for the day, this can reconstitute that ability. And you have the Pearl of Power added to your inventory. Basically, it allows you to replenish a spell slot of 3rd or lower.
Ooh. Whoever holds it?
It does require attunement,
Oh, okay.
as does the cauldron.
You should probably take this. I whisper to Orla. Yeah, you're like more magical than I am, and I think you would have more use out of it.
That's really nice of you.
Yeah.
Is it something that you have, like, the specific person that attunes to it? Like, could I pass it around and each person attunes to it and everybody then would be able to use
No,
it?
you can only attune to
one
can-
person?
yeah, attunement requires Only one person can attune to an object at once.
Okay.
And that goes across the board
Right. Okay.
for all objects. Not all objects, but all attunable objects.
Well, thank you.
Like a health potion, you don't need to attune for, but it's magical still. All right.
Orla has the Pearl of Power now.
She says, "Well, you've given me so much. Would you care for one of the were they pouches you were looking at, sir?" And she gestures to the dragonborn in the room.
Would you be willing to trade me for something to get one of each of the pouches?
What have you for me?
I reach into my pockets and I pull out a bunch of beef jerky. Do you like jerky?
She goes, I have access to jerky. Do you have anything that is more powerful?
I reach into the other pocket and I pull out the jar of brain juice.
Oh, a second. Well, if you'd like, I can take the brain juice, and you're more than welcome to 2 pouches, but I believe all 3 would be... I would need something more.
That seems fair. Can you
She...
remind me what the pouches were?
Yeah. So there were 3 pouches, the first of which held an iridescent powder that when you tasted it, it kind of pulsed with a sense of magic around the room. And you had, after tasting it, you had a level of, like, I think you basically had to roll for Arcana with advantage. There was a small bag of marbles that you did not investigate further. They were kind of like this grayish steel marble. And then there was a yellow sapphire that had rocky protrusions growing from it.
That sounds dope. I don't even know what it does. It just sounds amazing.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the marbles and the sapphire.
Okay. She does tell you what they are, and she says that you can add beads of force, which I think you had last campaign.
Oh, yeah.
So roll a... Oh, shoot. I just want to make sure. And then the second item is a elemental gem, particularly the color yellow.
Wait, is that did I just say sapphire or yellow
That's
diamond?
It's an elemental gem.
Oh yeah, you have to specify in the thing.
Oh, a yellow. Whatever
Yellow
yellow
diamond.
is.
Cool.
And then roll a d4 for me.
Sweet. 1.
You have 5 beads of force in there.
Nice. Hey, you don't know if that was the lesser of all of them.
That is true.
Could have been randomized.
What do you mean?
Like, it could have been 1 is 5, 4 was 2, you
Yeah.
know? I don't know.
True.
I am going to look at her and I'm going to say, could you maybe see if this has any kind of power? And I hold up one of my metallic spheres that I found off of the...
Off the constructs?
Yes.
Okay. She holds it up and looks at it, and she goes, well, it's not magical in itself, but it can hold a great magical power. It's a casing of sort.
Would I be able to put that pearl of power in there?
No, the pearl of power is condensed and contained in itself, but this would hold a raw power.
Raw energy.
Yes.
Could I capture somebody else's like power with it?
This is magic beyond my knowing and science beyond my knowing, so I've only imagined that it could function in some way. I don't know how you would get the power or energy in there. but once it's held, it could power a number of things.
Interesting. Well, thank you.
Basically, like a magic battery.
Dope.
But
It's empty.
She's just walking around with a bunch of dead batteries.
Gotta figure out how to fill it.
Said every hoarder ever.
Hey. Yeah.
You right.
I have a quick question. Those robes, that robe that I gave you all on patches on it, was that any? You seem to kind of like that a little bit.
Oh yes, it's very good. It's very nice. It'll go great in our shop. My shop. Our shop, cat.
So who's our? Who?
I was wondering if you could just answer the question for me. The liquid inside of the cauldron that you put into a bottle and it turned into a make yourself all better juice. How come mine don't do that?
Well, you can only do it once a day.
Do you want any unused cauldron liquid? And I offer her one bottle.
No, I don't.
Would you like 10 unused cauldron liquids?
Oh well, in that case, no, I don't.
What about, and I pull out a bottle that has a small tadpole-looking creature inside of it.
Where did you get that?
What do you have to offer me?
Well, I'd be happy to give you the other pouch, but you should know that that's much more powerful than you think. And I'd very much like to know what you would do with it.
I don't, I have absolutely 100% so many ideas. I would possibly, and violence flashes in my eyes a little bit, I would maybe put it in my enemy's ears. Just to see if it was hungry.
She's just staring at you.
And I'm like looking at Marxus, just completely dumbfounded.
trying to get a read
oh
on him.
my god.
Make a persuasion or not a persuasion. What are you trying to do? Like, are you trying to deceive? Or are you trying to?
I'm trying to
Just
figure out
talk?
what it is based on her reaction.
Oh, okay.
Like, is it
Oh,
something
okay.
that I can like
So then you
put
roll an
inside
insight
somebody's
check.
brain?
9.
She does not give you anything. She's just void of emotion, and it's probably because you can't see her eyes. Like, you can look into like the window to the soul aspect, and then hers are just.
Will you at least tell me what the robe is, what it does? Because then maybe I might trade you.
It was a robe that holds a number of patches, and as you pull the patches off, those items become real.
Ooh.
Could you add patches to it?
I would imagine somebody could probably enchant patches in order to add to it.
Do you know what's on the patches currently?
She holds it up and she looks at it, and it's just, well, there's this, and there's 2 little potion patches. And sorry, give me 1 second. That's like all I know that's on this thing.
I am intrigued.
Be right back.
At this time, we always make jokes about like, hey, Walmart, or hey, well, not Walmart because they're kind of an evil organization.
Keep going.
They're great. We love them. If you're like a small streamer
Don't
like
say
us, and you want us to talk about your stream or wherever, we'd be more than happy to. Send us a DM on Twitter or in Twitch, or if that's a thing in Twitch, I'm not exactly sure.
It is.
But yeah, do that in Twitch or in Twitter, and maybe on TikTok or whatever, and we can have a conversation. We don't know what we would do or how we would do it, but we'll figure it out together through the power of friendship.
Through the power of friendship. So, on the... There are... Sorry, I did not prepare this well enough. There is a little coffer patch. There's 2 dagger patches. There's a lantern patch, and then there's a rope patch.
So the robe and for this creature. Sound like a deal?
The robe and...
Yeah, fill it in.
You want the robe back?
Maybe for this creature and, you throw in something else to sweeten the deal.
Well, I have the robe and I have the something else. You simply have this small tadpole.
That you explained is more powerful than we could ever know.
Could be.
Is.
Not right now.
Soon?
I don't know.
Alright, how much do you want for the robe?
Well, do you have anything else for me aside from this tadpole creature?
I have these 10 bottles of unused cauldron liquid.
As I said before, I'm not interested. As I was experimenting with the cauldron when I first acquired it, I myself did the same thing. She has like 10 bottles on the shelf behind her.
That's kind of all I have is just the,
Well then, you,
tadpole.
sir, are out of currency in this shop.
Darn. What's something that you need? You needed brain juice. Is there anything else you need?
Did not need brain juice, but there are certain things that I can experiment with it on, and recently the head of the guard asked me to work on several things for our protection here. And I was able to experiment with this brain juice to do just that.
Alright. Final offer. I'm just going to give you this creature, and you can take care of it, grow it into a giant, all-powerful, brain-eating whatever, and I'll take the robe and that satchel.
I said just a moment ago that do you have anything else? Kid? The robe is pretty powerful, and I could give you the satchel for the creature.
Didn't you also say that creature was more powerful than...
It could be. It's not now.
But couldn't you make it more powerful?
I don't know. I don't know if I have that power in me.
Do you want
Seem pretty
money?
powerful.
What about...
Basically like a deal in magic. If you guys have any magic,
Yes.
that's going to be a trigger.
I don't have anything that I want to trade.
Me neither.
What about this? And I set down my candelabra.
No!
Don't do that.
Don't do
I
that.
have an idea.
Well, I think that could go for the robe and the creature for the satchel.
But you have to promise me one thing. I can come back and say hello to my little pet. Anytime.
I can't promise that.
Will you at least raise him really strong?
I can't promise that.
It's a deal. 2 for 2.
2 for 2. She hands you the robe, takes your candelabra. You guys gain the iridescent powder.
Sorry, that
And-
took forever.
She takes the jar from you with the creature, and she smashes it on the ground, and the cat comes up and eats it.
What?
Bad ass. That cat is gonna get fucking strong.
She goes, those things, if left unattended, can cause great harm.
Is your cat going to be okay?
Oh yeah, she's killed it.
But she consumed it.
I mean, she, like, cat
Okay.
around, like a cat. She cat killed it.
All right.
You know.
You
Just think about the king, how I did, yeah. The cat kicked it.
All right. So,
I'm gonna throw the robe on.
dope.
All right. You throw the robe on, and there is, like I said, a. We'll figure out what's on the robe here in a second, but everything I said is on the robe right now. Currently, we'll see if there's any more patches. And then you get to add the dust of magic detection.
Dope.
So if you don't mind rolling
Rolling in.
I think it's a D.
Schmevin.
If it's a D6, it's a 5. That's up on the higher end of a D6. Please don't be reversed.
Reverse.
Sorry, world. For some reason, I didn't think you guys were going to come into the shop. / I didn't have anything prepared. It's a D6. What did you roll?
5.
5. You have 8 pinches of dust in there.
Hey.
While this iridescent dust is sprinkled, it catches the wind and swirls around up to an area of 30 feet. The dust fills the air and creates the effect as if the user cast a detect magic spell. The spell is visible to all in the area.
That will be useful.
All right, guys. I think we should be on our way. We probably should say goodbyes to Carbon first, just real quick, and then
Well, does he have to take us up to the surface still?
Yeah, I thought
maybe.
Yeah.
There was the guard mentioned to you guys last session that he would have an escort for you
Oh,
to
okay.
get to the surface.
Let's just say a quick goodbye to Carbon, and then we go back up.
And also,
Yeah, we need to go figure out what to do about the Nagiba.
And what about Thecus? We
Yeah.
haven't talked to them in a while.
Yeah. We've got some stuff to do. Let's go.
By the way, we are Bowfolk, led by the wonderful Orla Bitterfoot. I am Marxus Sesnarnep,
Okay.
and
okay.
the dragon over there is Kata. Who are you? What is your name? What should we call you?
Why do you need to know?
Because you're cool as hell! We want to be your friend! You're dope!
My name is Dane. Dain.
Ooh.
Okay.
And
Well, thank you,
what's your
Dan.
cat's name?
My cat's name is Lit. Lit.
dope. That's cool.
Well, I know I'm naming our next cat. Well, thank you, Dane, for all of your help with everything and your wonderful bartering and insight.
Okay.
God, everybody just wants to
Gestures you.
leave.
Yeah.
All right,
Sorry.
we're doing something wrong.
Sorry, I'm a lingerer.
Linger. All right, so we
Sorry.
head out.
All right. You guys head out. So you do meet up with the. Are you guys going right to the guard?
We want to say bye to Carbon.
Okay. You can find Carvin at Vari's
Cool.
in her shop. So do you head right there?
Uh-huh.
So you guys head through the city, through the trade district, into the west tunnel, and eventually make your way to Vari's.
Carbon!
He goes, yeah? Yeah, what?
Hello, my
hey.
friend.
Hey, you all rested up?
Yes. Thank you so much. We just... I'm truly inspired by how much you have grown and how amazing you did in this battle. Like, we would not have been able to do this without you.
Yeah, well, thanks.
And
I'm proud of you all, too.
we only wish you good things. You have been more than accommodating to us, and we consider you such a good friend. And we didn't really intend, to stumble upon this area. But I'm really glad we did.
Yeah, well, I didn't really expect you all to be what you were when you jumped from a giant height and into a pool of water
Yeah.
and scared half the city. But I'm glad that this was the case, and not any other way.
Well, Carvin, we wish you nothing but greatness, because that's all that you deserve.
Thank you.
And we just wanted to say our goodbyes.
Oh,
'Cause we're about to head
you're
out.
leaving?
Yeah.
Well, if you ever wanted to come back, I can make accommodations.
Well, we think you'll be able to have the best of accommodations, future King Carvin the Conqueror.
See, I told you, I can't be king. I don't know enough.
We think that you know plenty. We think that you are fully fitting for this position.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, am I taking you up or?
If you want.
If
I
you
think
wanted
the guards
to.
said that they would let us if you got things going on, but we totally understand if you want to come with us.
Well,
If you're not, then I gotta give you one crisp high five.
where are you headed? And maybe I can help get you there sooner.
Were we going to Bryn or were we going to where were we going? Gato, where were we going?
Where are we going? Oh, Bryn. We had to go back to Bryn, right? Because of the fact that we had... Well, actually, we don't know because...
Don't we have weapons being made in Bryn?
Well, here. How about this? The guards.
Yes.
The guards will be able to take you just outside of Holden, and
That's what it was.
I'll be able to take you closer to the city.
Perfect.
So there's really only two options.
All right, we'll go with you. Let's go.
Closer to
Yeah.
the city sounds great.
So after some
God.
things, he kind of packs up a little satchel of his own, and you guys gather your goods. He takes you up through the passage you took initially, and there are a number of guards that are in this tunnel now, this smaller tunnel that you were heading, the smuggler's tunnel, and they are specifically at the branching point where you guys headed away from the smuggler's entrance and towards the dungeon that you found before. It seems like they are clearing it out, in fact, and kind of looking into it and exploring for anything else that they can use or have. There is the branch that you took, and as you head up the smuggler's tunnel, after some time, you start to see light at the end of the tunnel as it kind of escalates, and you find yourself in the interior of this large dome. And the dome has this kind of iridescent, or kind of this veins of different coloration, silvers and golds, lining this iron-style dome, iron-colored dome, and specks of light shining through. As you head out, you step into the dome, and he kind of gestures out, and there's a small circular opening that you'd probably have to crawl through if you'd like. And he says, well, that's the way, and Holden, you can't miss it. It's just off to your right as soon as you head out the tunnel. And I'd imagine the guards would have taken you probably a days away from the city itself. So here's Holden for you. And again, thank you so much. It's been great, and I'm so very happy to have met you all in this strange circumstance.
I'm just going to wrap my little arms around him and give him a big hug. And I'm going to say thank you.
And hugs you back. Yeah. Says thank you.
I'm gonna hug both of them as they're hugging.
So you hug them, and
And just say, this is nice.
hugs on hugs.
You're so nice. You're gonna be such a great king. We appreciate you, and thank you again. And just, yeah, you're gonna be so great. You already are, but you're gonna be so much better. Never stop being you.
Okay.
Never stop trying to prove yourself, and you will always be the best of us.
And I'm like,
Thank you, and
smushed.
you're
in
probably
there,
the best cat I've ever met, so...
What? Thanks, man. I really. And one like singular tear kind of drops down, and I quickly.
While he's crying, he leans over and he's like, he's the only cat I've ever met, so I don't know why he's... Like, there's not a lot of other people around other than Rodarian. So,
You're the best.
do you all crawl out through
I'm
the
gonna
hole?
crawl.
Yep.
Start army crawling.
So as you crawl out through the hole and the sun kind of, it seems to be just early morning, and you guys have a full day ahead of you. And you start
Lord.
to be able to pry away, and there are stalks of wheat. And you step out, and you are in a wheat field just outside of Holden. You can see the city landscape off to your right, just like he said. And behind you is this large domed body. And it looks like a enormous construct of some sort in the middle of this wheat field.
God, guys.
Can I do a history check on the dome?
Do history check.
5. It's a
It
dome.
seems familiar because as you turn around, there's like this dome has arms and seems to be a large construct, a large shell of armor of some sort, and it's probably made of. It seems to be made of like brass and stone and other minerals and materials that have been forged together. And while you roll a 5. It's reminiscent. It's familiar.
Okay.
Seems something to be familiar about.
Is it a magical item or an alchemical object or a technological device?
I would say it's a technological device.
Okay.
So do you get advantage, or do you just get to?
I get twice my proficiency bonus added to it.
Dope.
So, I actually have a 10 for history instead of a 5.
Oh.
Does that change anything?
You get to know a little bit more about it.
Okay.
You recall the statues of the gnomes and the halflings who fought back,
Okay.
and that they created something that could combat them. And
Wow.
that this is probably that creation that they've added or broke down in the field or did something. It does look like it's kneeling towards the city of Holden on one leg, like down with one elbow on their left knee, and their right knee is down, which is actually the knee is what you crawled out of, which would have been like the kneecap.
Ah. Guys, are you seeing this? Look at this. I think this is like one of those the construct that the gnomes and the dwarfs built to fight during the emergence. Isn't that cool? I think it's like the broken down shell.
That's amazing.
Right?
Wow.
Oh.
So much more gnomish history than I even know.
Are there any loose pieces that are visible?
Make it an investigation check.
13.
The one loose piece that you could find is what would be the kneecap, as it's been folded down in front of the knee for individuals to get in and out. And as you are going out, Tarvin goes to grab it and pull it back as the cover of the knee
Wow.
to hide like the hole.
Awesome.
Pretty
But-
large, right?
Oh, that's
It's-
so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty large. It's probably, I don't know, large.
What do you use a short sword and find a piece that's not critical to covering the tunnel and try and cut myself a piece of this.
Okay. Make a strength check.
Break you off a piece of that construct knee.
That's what it is.
18.
You are able to pry off a small chunk of what would be the thigh armor, and it's just like a part that seems rusted out, and you have a triangular chunk of the thigh armor. It is kind of a weird brassy look to it with stone almost embedded in it, but not in a decorative fashion, but almost as if the stone is integral to the formation of all of it, like a binding effect.
God,
And the part you tore off has kind of like a rust, corroded edge to it, which is why you were able to probably break it off.
Well, good. Just didn't want the whole thing to collapse. Oh my gosh. That would have been terrible.
As we exit out, Mark's just gonna kind of look at it, say, "Yeah, wow, this is really cool," and I'm gonna leave a silver, right, like at the base of it, for like the next person to like take it in awe, as like maybe they have a little bonus token to take with them, kind of thing.
Love
Cool.
All right. So, guys, what do we do now? I just feel like it's been so much time, and
We should probably go to Mr. Monocle and tell him about what we saw with the Nagiba. And then I think we should go try and find the other Nagiba and blow their shit wide open and expose them for who
I don't
they
think that
really
they're
are.
here, but I agree with you.
Well, didn't they say that they showed up like on like the weekly basis kind of thing, and they came in? So maybe like since the last group didn't return, then they'll probably just send another one. So maybe they're like trying to look around. Maybe we should go in the city kind of slowly, stealthily.
I agree with that. Also, that other group might still be looking for us. Maybe not,
crew?
though.
We are mighty folk.
We should also probably talk to the mayor lady.
Ooh.
Hi,
Let her know what happened. But I think Mr. Monocle will probably be. That's
First.
who I think we should go talk to first.
Yeah. This is.
See what
We have no
he
idea how long it's been.
What year is it?
Just imagine Jumanji.
Can I like
What year is it?
to like a I don't know what role it would be to like determine like what season it is to try and determine how much time has passed. Like
Make a nature check.
some
Maybe the whole thing is under a spell.
that's a natural 18. We're 18.
Somebody roll nature.
You would imagine that, judging by the atmosphere, you like lick your finger and feel the air, and you can feel the atmospheric pressure in your cat brain. And it is probably late summer.
Yo, it's been like 5 days. Think. How did we not sleep for 3 of those? Oh my god.
We must have been under some kind of enchantment. I don't know. Or maybe it was just pure adrenaline.
Probably a little bit of both, really. I could use a drink with Mr. Monocle. That'd be great. I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
We should go do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tato, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. What happens in the caverns stays in the caverns, so let's get out of here.
Yes. But let's be stealthy.
Yeah.
At first, yeah?
Oh, I think always stealthy.
Okay. I
Always
agree.
stealth. Always stealth.
Kidda, can you do that thing where we're like hard to find again?
Yeah, I reach into my pockets. I grab a little bit of jerky. Grind it up into fine powder. And then I eat it. And then I've already casted the spell. We're already.
Stop not.
Oh god, it's funny.
Oh, good. All right, so yeah, all you roll stealth checks.
33.
Ooh, dang. Ooh.
33 as well.
Dang.
18 plus 5 plus 10.
Math.
15 plus, so 18 plus 10, 28.
And what'd you get, Kata?
19.
19. All right, so
So low.
you are able to kind of stay under the wheat field line. It is growing, but it's all still green and not ready for harvest because it's still late. It's late summer, but not fall yet. So it's tall, but not gone. Yeah, so you were able to make your way into Holden. You approach Holden through the narrow church district, which is off to the actually, yeah, I mean, are you trying to avoid the main roads, or are you trying to...
Yeah. I think we're trying to get to Mr. Monocle, like, as unseen as possible.
Okay. Alright, so yeah,
probably avoid the main roads.
you'll approach... The main road follows up and looks and leans right into the city. It takes you probably an hour's walk stealthily, and you approach the wall of the city. Just outside, on the other side of the wall is the narrow church district. The main road would have taken you through the Wheat Reach and right into the Red Hook.
How tall is the wall of Holden?
It's a fairly tall wall. I mean, this is a city that has needed protection from creatures that have been, like, there's Perryton, calling about. Granted, they're flying animals, but still. How would you like to make your way through the wall, over the wall, under the wall, through
Is
the gate?
it enough that I could, like, jump and then make sure there's nobody around and then drop a rope down and pull everybody up so we don't have to go through the main gate, like, through the guards?
Do you have... you're just trying to run up the wall?
I was going to step of the wind if I...
You'd have to step of the wind, but yeah, you'd be able to make it up.
Yeah, cool.
Huh.
Yeah. Gonna do that and then lower 50 feet of rope down. Make sure that, like, we're...
Roll a acrobatics check.
That's 3 18s in a row.
Dang.
23.
You are able to, with some grace,
Feline grace.
feline grace, you're like getting to a point where you're like, you move like Po from Kung Fu Panda,
Ah, hell
but
yeah.
like
Love it.
where you're like, oh man, Po can handle his own, like that. Like you're halfway through the movie, like the second half of the first movie. I don't know how many movies there are anymore, but yeah. So where he's kind of gaining
Whole
some
universe
abilities
now.
and
Right.
starts getting it. Yeah, there's a show. Po, get at us.
Is that DreamWorks?
Jack Black. Is that Jack Black? Is that
Yeah.
Jack Black?
You and D&D.
Yeah.
Please get at
Yeah,
us.
come
Find
so
us,
fun.
Yeah.
please.
Me and you got the same body type, bro.
So you
I
are
follow you
able
on
to
TikTok.
pull it up. Are you all climbing?
Yeah, I'll try and climb.
Did he check?
I'm probably gonna need somebody to pull me up.
Say Marxus. Is it clear?
Perception check.
18.
Seems clear. There are two larger portions of the wall that seem to be
I'm like ducking behind.
observed or have observers on them, but they don't seem to notice you. You guys, after all, are relatively stealthy.
Shh with it.
I'm gonna try to shimmy my way up there.
Okay. All right. So,
And if they
Kate,
start
are
to
you
slip,
going? Is there a rank or a way that you guys are ascending?
I'll go first. In case I fall, Kata can be behind and break the fall. And then, Kata, do you have a tail?
Yes.
So
Do
if
you?
I don't know.
I thought Dragonborn didn't have tails
Oh.
because of the lore.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
okay, so it probably should be me, then Narnip, and then Kata, in case we both fall. And then you can just throw us up.
I don't have like any upper body strength, Kata. Can I just ride on your back? Like a little backpack?
I my claws together like this. I'm like, just stand right here. And
Okay.
then
We can't see your hands.
oh, it's like this.
Okay. All right.
Are you just gonna throw me over the wall?
Do it.
This guy.
Make a strength check, Kata.
Are you gonna catch me?
I'll certainly try.
Oh, 9.
You launch her up, and she didn't have quite the footing, and she kind of shoots up, and then comes right back down. What are you doing?
Sure.
You catch her?
Yeah.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Literally.
Oh, saving throw. Hold on.
Saving catch.
10.
10. You are able to catch her, and she clumsily falls in your arms. You guys, what are you doing?
I'm gonna climb up the wall.
What the fuck are you guys doing? Just hold on to the rope.
I'm just
I
gonna
can pull
use
you
the
up. I'm a
rope
giant fucking cat.
and just use my little feet on there too.
Okay, so you start repelling or like whatever,
Yeah.
climbing up very, as if like the movies tilted the camera sideways and you were just
Yeah.
walking up the wall.
Exactly. That's what I'm doing.
Movie magic.
Make a strength check for me.
Ooh. Oh my god. Hang on.
I want one thing to happen. I don't know.
Oh no. Okay. Is it
Guard
the
walks up.
strength is different?
What the hell are you doing?
Gate's open, right? I feel like that's what would happen too.
We are but mighty repellers.
Be propellers, since we're both folk.
And we're real good at it.
Oh, it's still that. Okay, good.
Come on.
5.
You think you're making headway, and you, like, your feet just start scraping, and you're like, and you look down, and you're not that far off the ground. Like, Kata's holding you as you're trying to get up.
What if instead I climbed to the top and then you guys just held on and Marcus and I
And both of
combined?
you pull us up. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
You're climbing yourself up.
Yeah.
Cool. You make your way to the top. I'm not gonna have him roll. He's got like a +5 in strength or something.
Yeah, mine's -2.
That's why I'm having you guys roll, is because you roll a natural
I'm so
20, you're
weak.
good.
I
But
can't do it.
so you get to the top, and are you guys both helping?
So tiny.
All right. So you both, are you guys just holding on?
I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
You should loop it around yourself so you don't have to use your legs too.
All right.
All right.
He is a propeller.
You guys
Ah.
pull them up. You're all on top of the wall. What would you like to do? Are you
How do
guys
we get down?
sliding down, or are you?
I take the rope that's still attached and I jump down and I slow fall. And then I secure it on the ground.
Oh, okay. Cool.
From the top of the wall, can I do a perception check and just see if like the city kind of looks the same or if it looks different?
Yeah, make a
based on
perception
what we've
check.
got? 23.
Ooh, dang.
Tell me everything
You
about this
see-
city.
Oh.
Tell me about the city.
Spill the tea on this city.
So there are. The city doesn't look like it's changed in the 4 days that you guys have been gone. And you can see, you know, all the districts kind of laid out by the height of their buildings. You can see the park-esque opening in the middle of the city with the statue that looks relatively small from the distance that you're at. Just outside of the main office, and it happens to be the office of the guard connected, there seemed to be a commotion of some sort.
Oh, shit.
We're gonna not want to go by the guard's office because there's some people there. So let's avoid that area right now. I don't know. There's a lot of people there, and if we're trying to
Like-
not be seen, we should probably just avoid that area.
Like, so bad?
I mean, there's a commotion there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's just people moving around from the distance that you're at. That's really all you can make up. You
With
can't see a
that
cause.
wall?
You can't see a reason. You know,
All right.
Well,
she saw it in general.
I mean, we're pretty well disguised. If you guys are like, I'm a little worried about the mayor. if we want to like go a little bit close, but like
Shit.
not get in the mix, just
Yeah.
to like see if it's something that like
I have a
we need to be
disguise
aware
kit
of.
too, and I don't know if my disguise is still on anymore.
Probably
In 4
not.
days.
It's looking real.
It's really rough.
Wait, when did you have a disguise?
When we all were dressed as mice.
Oh yeah, I would imagine you took that off.
Okay.
It's like Rick and Morty style costume.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Is there? So I want to jump down and I want to see. Okay, does anybody else like have any other kind of robes or any like hooded kind of anything that we can just like put up over our heads and kind of just?
You have 2 sets of robes.
Yeah. If anyone wants these other robes, I'm thoroughly insulated. I could totally give you a pair. One, it's just a single robe.
I'm just gonna stick to the shadows and not
You're good to that?
go out. And...
Y'all are relatively stealthed right now, anyway.
Okay, yeah. Let's. I'll take the robe just in case.
Yeah, here.
I've talked to a few more people than probably should.
Do you put it on and it just?
Yes. I put it on and I'm like,
like a little kid.
literally like in this big like
I am
wizard
a clown.
robe. Yes.
Do you put on the robe with the patches?
Yes.
As you put it on, it's super tight around your shoulders, and you're like trying to like get it around, and you're like in Tommy Boy where he puts on David Spade's jacket, and then after some time, it just stretches and loosens and fits you perfectly.
Ooh. Like it was tailor made.
You're like
Love
the,
it.
like
Tailor-made.
kind of.
Get at us.
Yeah.
Who's oh I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's a term. It's a phrase. You're right.
So you have 3 sets of robes because you have
Oh yeah.
you actually have
Well, I left the one set of robes with Dane because she
I thought
let
you
two
picked
of
them
them
up. And you were like, that was rude.
The DM says I picked them up. I picked them up. So anybody, Hada, you feeling a little Ngiba-y today? And I offer him the sworn.
I'm still gonna try to stick to the shadows because my robe clearly does not like fit me. I'm
They're
like a little
dragging
child,
a foot and
like
a half
in a,
behind you. Yeah.
my arms are like down. You know, the
Yeah.
arms are like down here.
I
It's
take
very
one of my
much.
claws, cut off some rope that was hanging there still, and kind of like fashion like a, oh no, you do it like this, and I like pull it up and then like, you know how you like cuff
Fit.
pants and
Yes.
shirts and stuff to like make it
Yeah,
look like it kind of fits you.
but you like
Yes,
roll it a
kind.
little bit too. Yeah.
You styled Orla.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, how do I look?
You just cut enough rope to go around her waist,
Um,
or to hem the rest of it.
like to do it all.
To do it all.
Yeah.
Remove 5 feet of rope from the 50 feet of rope. you
I'm very small.
So
You need
the rest
5
of it,
feet.
He did like other parts of
Oh,
it.
true. Okay.
the rest of it is still just like hanging there because I can't jump back up and
Okay.
untie it. I'm just
So
gonna leave
you
it.
no longer have a rope in your inventory.
I do have a patch on my
There you go.
robe.
Huh.
So
I'm gonna say, thank you.
Ada, are you good with us going to check out this commotion?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
there could definitely be a fight over there.
Oh,
That'd
yeah.
be good fun.
But let's still stick to the shadows.
you see, you're heading to the commotion.
Yep.
Yes.
I've got my hood up.
Cool. You make your way through the
Little tiny
narrow church district and into the open town square kind of aspect of the city. You see the statue, and then just outside the guard's office, it seems to be a number of individuals shouting at the guards that are guarding the guard's office. Like they're the people that would just be standing outside to make sure everything else is going on. And this is the guard's office connection that you headed into to accept your reward for doing the Perryton
You guys.
Yeah.
aspect.
Oh my god.
They know us as Revengers, is that right?
There was you had last signed up with Edwin as the Revengers.
This
I don't know if
is
that's Edwin. I
this
think
is
Edwin
the
was-
crew. I guarantee it.
What are the people shouting?
There are like
Oh.
10, 15,
Oh, okay.
20 people.
Wow.
Ooh,
And
that's
a
more
number
than
of
that.
individuals are shouting about costs of or prices of jobs. And there's a number of individuals shouting that it took forever And if it wasn't for the kindness of their hearts, the job would have never gotten done. And there's like recurring ruckus. It seems like almost like some kind of protest or demonstration of some sort.
What do the people shouting look like? Do they look like they're shield hands? Do they look like they're farmers?
Make an insight check.
Natural 20 plus 7.
They look like anything you want them. No, I'm just kidding. So they look like regular townsfolk. There are a handful of farmers, there's shop owners, there are no shield hands in the crowd. They seem to be exerting their aggression and irritation towards the guards at hand, and it seems to be some kind of demonstration against shield hands, as the jobs were not getting done on time, the prices for jobs were too expensive, and that they could have been done more efficiently without loss of life.
Oh, so these
And
people are
there's
mad
this
at
argument that you get from that there was another group that just came along and did what they were supposed to do out of the kindness of their hearts and did not need, so there's no need of shield hands. We can take care of our own. There's people out there that are defying this aspect of shield hands.
Well, thank goodness we didn't become shield hands.
With your natural 22,
thinking, Kata.
you didn't have a lot of it. You guys didn't have a lot of experience with shield hands and the Tyran triarchy at all. You had a little bit more, and you know that if you were to be an adventuring party, you were a shield hand, or you were just outside of the Tyran triarchy. If you wanted a part of the jobs, there were no jobs to be found outside of that or crime. So it was shield hands if you're above the law or within the law, and crime or criminals if you're not.
Okay.
And other than that, there was no balance. There wasn't an adventuring party that wasn't shield hands or thieves.
Okay.
So what you
I
did
present to
was
you.
very important when you guys took a job from shield hands. And it seems like some of that word has spread to others and influenced their actions.
So this is because of us?
You would
Good thing, right?
perceive that is the case, yeah.
But it is a good thing, right? Because they kind of suck. Like, shield hands still kind of suck, right?
Yeah.
A lot. They're the worst.
Okay. So we created a really great uprising.
Yeah. I don't think we really need to, like, interject ourselves here. I
No,
think
yeah,
I don't
people
think
are
so.
just, like, protesting.
We
and that's
already
good.
upset this
Okay,
apple
right.
cart. We're totally good to just let this be.
And let's just say, keep it up, guys. And then just turn right around.
Yeah!
And then we're going to turn around. And then walk right away.
Yeah, so you all, I was going to say roll a stealth check and try to be sneaky, but I'm just not even going to have you guys roll because you guys are stupid sneaky anyway. So, yeah, with your pass without a
Okay.
trace, you are able to slink away. What would you all like to do? Where are you guys going?
Go to the Mr. Monocle's bar.
Cool. So you head to the
Red Hook
Red Hook District and find the Glass Eye Tavern. And similarly, that you've been aware of, you walk in and there's the bar off to your right and there's several tables off to your left. Just past the bar is a set of roped off circular, semicircular booths that are a little bit darker with familiar guards and a familiar dwarven looking fellow, because he's not dwarven particularly, but he's a Duragar, underground dwarf.
Is there the bouncer that's there, or the bartender?
Same bartender that you're familiar with, and same personal guard. That
Do we know if it's table service or we go up to the bar?
I think in this place, if we sit down with Mr. Monocle, they'll take care of us. But I'm sure you can have one while we're waiting. I think you deserve it anyways.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Kate, did you hear that?
Oh, yeah.
I deserve a beverage. I go up and I order 4 beverages.
you grab 4 beverages, take 4 silver out of your inventory. I don't know if that was the price before, but I'm not really too keen on figuring that out. So you walk
We're
up.
almost VIPs anyways at this point here.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
I want to walk up to the guard or the.
As you walk up to the VIP area, that's where we're actually going to take a break. So thank you for sticking around for our first little bit.
Yeah.
Please stick around for the rest of it for us. Please check that out.
Oh my
We'll see where this goes with the crew and how they left things off with Mr. Monocle and what exactly what information they'd like to pass off. So thank you very much for checking it out. Please stick around, and we'll be right back in about 10 minutes.
And Bob, since you're on Discord, if you could mute your mic, and we'll have new music this week.
Ooh.
We'll see everyone shortly.
Who, me? No, we gotta watch 5 still. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Welcome back.
Sorry, I didn't do a transition.
No, it's all right. I want to make sure. My name's AJ. I'm the DM for Roll for Revelry. We are all Roll for Revelry, and we're here playing some D&D. So, the group is currently on their way through the Red Hook district of Holden into the Glass Eye Tavern to meet Mr. Monocle, the crime organizer of the area, who holds basically a district that the thieves, the accumulation of thieves guilds are under some kind of treaty with one another. There's not to be any malice towards one another, and jobs can be freely taken care of and dished out. And you are all, Mr. Monocle is in his VIP booth, and he gestures you to wave you in,
I'm gonna
and you all
wave.
sit down, or
Yeah.
What-
Absolutely.
What's like the vibe of the bar as we're going in? Is it-
chill.
Okay.
He's like he's like the guy who sits at the bar and deals with problems and drinks like something kind of
Scotch.
fancy, but not a lot of it throughout the day. And like this is like his, he's like the
Limoncello. He just
mafioso.
drinks limoncello all day.
Yeah, yeah.
Ew.
That makes sense though.
Sweet.
Limoncello. That makes sense for him
Okay. Fine.
as a
Limoncello.
Duragar,
Right.
not to have like a lemon tree, and to be like obsessed with something that is
Okay.
above ground.
All right. That's kind of cool.
Cool. I dig that. Limoncello.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all it was. That was way deeper, but
Yeah, no, it's also just like me. I like lemons.
I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna say, "Boy, are we happy to see you."
As well, I certainly didn't expect you all here. But,
Did you think we died?
Shruel, I thought you simply moved on.
No.
I trust my associates were helpful in giving you information that you seeked during your mission.
They absolutely were.
And as you can see, or as I can also see, you're meeting with... What?
Dan's moving the paper to try and keep Tito from jumping on the
Hey,
table.
Tito, get off. Yeah. Tito,
Meow.
everybody.
Meow.
Free,
Meow.
free cat shots.
I mean,
Paying that cat tax today.
I also noticed your meeting with Officiant Lacey must have gone particularly well, as a bit of a ruckus has risen from your actions here in Holden.
That wasn't us. That was the Revengers.
Ha, yes.
The
Well-
Avengers. But yes. It was nice.
Well, what can I do for you?
We have a lot to tell you.
Oh, okay.
So, we found
You lost your chances.
when we were in that bar, we found the secret tunnel of the Ingiba, like where the Ingiba were going, and we followed them down there, and we caught them in this weird ritual in which they were trying to, what do I want to say?
Resurrect
Re-
the Dragon Mother.
Yes, resurrect the dragon mother goddess.
yeah.
Tiamat.
Tiamat. Yeah, Tiamat.
So
Yeah.
the Ingiba are involved in so much darker stuff than we had perceived that they were involved in.
Well, are they out of the city?
Well, yeah,
Excellent.
That we know of? We
that we
kinda
know of.
just
Well,
got here.
we got rid of all of them, and that were down there. So we took care of them all, and we got the dragon tooth that is this ancient relic, and then
yeah.
we misplaced it, But
We did not misplace it.
We know exactly where it's at. It was not misplaced.
but we do know where it's at, so we're going back to retrieve it. But then on our way, back to the surface, because we were underground, we accidentally or slash purposefully, some of us, me included, jumped further into the sewer system and came upon the Rodarians. And we helped them out because there was a mind flayer and an ancient brain that was enchanting all of these people. And we've been down there for 4 days trying to get back, and now here we are.
Oh, okay. What can I do for you?
Well, we just wanted to give you an update on the Angiba.
And also, if you knew a
Oh.
seamstress.
Well, I do know somebody that can help with the seamstress, but yes, thank you for the information.
Since we have been gone,
He
what?
didn't really care what you guys were doing at that point.
My fault.
What?
She just, and then we did this, and then we did this, and then we did this.
Which is
and then-
just
oh my god, and then we did this.
Yeah.
So
that-
I was
Classic
like,
Orla.
oh.
Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect.
So since the Nagiba have left the city, have you heard anything about just like murmurings of like how they left or like?
Well, as they typically do, there were murmurings that they've arrived and then fizzled out in nothing of their departure.
Okay.
And no one seemed unsettled about that information at all. But they kind of disappear anyways, right? So
Yeah,
no one really ever hears about the
it's
departure.
usual. Yeah, it's usually the standard procedure of their kind, and nothing seemed to have changed out of the norm. So it did not rise on anybody's radar.
That's
Well,
good.
radar's not a thing. On anybody's,
Sonar.
So,
also not a thing.
Mind.
Mind meld.
yes.
But I mean, we only killed 3 or 4 Nagiba, so like it's likely that they will send others, because they had a pretty elaborate setup underneath this hotel,
And none of them came back.
right? So how?
You guys have been gone for 4 days now,
Yeah.
and it took 3 days to get from Temple Karis to Golden.
Yes.
But like, what's your plan for when the Nagiba come back? Because if they come back, they're gonna try to resurrect this Tiamat again.
Well,
They
I'm
are
not
like-
sure. Before, we were unaware that any malicious intent was there, and they've come before, and they've left, or rather disappeared before, and no Tiamat has risen. No harm was done to the city, so I trust that this one instance wasn't the one time they had their first chance, but
For all they know, it may have worked because we sent them back the dragon tooth.
Are there any resurrection specialists that you know in the city?
I imagine there's a handful of clerics, but whether they believe that resurrection is a benign act is up to them.
When we were on it with the Rodarians too, we did come across a dwarven woman, and she didn't know of you guys, but
Well, we all don't know each other.
I don't know. I'm sorry. That's my fault.
Plus, I'm not exactly a traditional dwarf, as you can tell.
I guess I see that.
Yes, we see what you're drinking.
Limoncello, it's delicious.
I agree.
Okay, well, we're sorry to have bothered you, but we just thought we would give you an update as that we're not dead.
Well, it's
and
not a bother.
to thank you so much for your assistance in helping with your people keeping an eye on things and to help keep us in line because we tried.
Of course.
But like, you need to not let the Nagiba back in the city.
I would say so. I would make sure your people are definitely on a close watch of them.
Well,
Hold on. Shouldn't we let them in one more time to get our dragon tooth back?
No, we gotta go to them.
Or would it our way here with it?
But they wouldn't because how long were we down there?
so I think you guys said 4 or 5 days.
4 or 5 days. It takes 3 days to get to where they're at. So they may just think that something was delayed. So they may just now be catching wind that those people are not back. And we could potentially, but I don't understand why they would like want to bring the dragon tooth back with them. I don't know.
I don't know enough about resurrection, but I have to guess it requires like some sort of sacrificial offering or like piece of the dead or something like dark and powerful and perhaps like a specific location to be done.
Make an Arcana check. Anybody else would like to too, you're more than
I
welcome
would
to.
like to.
14.
I got 17
Dirty 20.
plus 8,
So 25?
25. Sorry, I'm just like blanking out on trying to do math.
It's okay.
My brain was like, oh.
So you guys are funny.
We're like proud parents over
Love
here.
I know. Tito's using the new litter box.
Sure is.
It's a self-cleaning one. It's like pretty big deal.
Fancy.
I think he's confused by it though.
I'm confused by it.
He's also just like, Chicken is watching him by like 2 feet away from him, and he's just arching himself and peeing. And she's just like right here.
Weird.
Cat.
Your
thing.
kids are weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just like video games, okay?
So, you're asking about resurrection. All right.
Arcana checks 25,
Dirty 20.
14,
dirty 20.
22. You're not even sure. You're like, things can be brought back to life.
And then I finish my 4th beer, and I drunkenly pop another bottle in my pack. And I now have 9 bottles of cauldron liquid, and I pour it into my cup. And I take a big swig.
Cool. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, good God.
21.
It does not taste good. It is viscous, and it is bitter, and it has a
I say, oh, it's great. And I chug the whole thing down like,
you hold it down though.
Oh,
it's great. And I toss the cap, but I keep the bottle and put it back in my pack.
Right. So you drank that. So you are is all full of piss and vinegar. Everyone else, Bob, you have been aware that there are rituals to bring things back into the life cycle. But it's really up to you and your rangeriness and dragons on whether or not full resurrection of bringing back from the dead is a taboo or not. But you do know that you're right, it is expensive, and there are things required of it. Dirty 20, you would know some of those things. It not only is it a naturalistic aspect of it, but you can have, like, there's like the unnatural aspect, and there's like necromancy that can be brought into the conversation. But there's also, when you bring things back to life, it's usually like a diamond or some form of material component for being a little on the nose required for it, and that it can be a clerical job and not just nature. Like somebody's god can will them back to life or something along those lines, or you can ask for that to happen of your god. And then with your 25, you would know that bringing, like, it's not necessarily bringing back to life, because Tiamat is a god.
Mm-hmm.
The gods aren't dead. They're just not on your material plane.
So is it more embodying, like having Tiamat embody the person?
That may have been what they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, because they they husked. They husked.
Do the hairball.
No. No.
No, that was delicious. I don't know what you're talking
Keep
about.
meaning to get you guys cards so you can do that. So
The didn't they like husk themselves?
Yes.
And then they turned into like a dragon, right?
They kind of ashed away, and wasn't there like, didn't they bleed like a black, like?
Oh,
I think
sure
they
did
ashed
bleed.
away, but I don't know if they
They
bled. I think they just like cracked.
Okay.
An ashen husk.
I think that even maybe the Angiba thought that the job was done, and maybe if none of them come back, maybe they thought, I don't know, I have no idea, that they had, some of them were sacrificed in that moment. But I do think that it takes 3 days to get there, 3 days to get back to where we are. We definitely could cross paths with them and stop them from coming back to this place.
I think we stopped them permanently by going to their temple and burning it down.
That's a
and
plan I can
ridding
get behind.
the world of the Nagiba forever.
Yeah, that works for me.
You would know that there are different. Like, that's the main temple, but they're
There are other-
sporadically through cities.
But which one?
We cut out the heart.
And I'm
The
gonna,
big one.
Mr. Monocle, I'm gonna ask him, do you know anything else about the Angiba other than them being here? Do you know about any other temples that they have in any other like cities or towns that might be nearby?
Well, they don't tend to be around here except for when they travel here.
Mm-hmm.
But I am aware that there are posts that they frequent and or much like any other religion, kind of have their own buildings and
Sanctuaries or whatever.
sanctuaries around all of the Tyrian triarchy.
What would you say is the closest one that is to here?
Well, Bryn is about a day and a half away, right? Or is it 3 days?
3 days.
It would have been 3 days there and back. That's when you guys. Yeah, it's about a day and a half.
Oh, my fault.
Sorry, I'm just trying to remember my own game. I'm just playing D&D by myself in my head.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing the carbon.
Yeah, it's, when you guys were like, "Yeah, you're talking to yourself." It's like, dang it.
I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You will die. But I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah, right. A little further is the Anchor of Rahir, and you can certainly find some Ingiba there. I'd imagine those would be the closest locations. They may have an outpost in Trilla to the north. And certainly in the other anchors, De Grey and Keston as well.
So loud.
I know, I can hear.
That's all fine and dandy. I have one question. These shield hands, it seems like they're no longer needed. They really are they seeking revenge on said revengers
Well, as
that you've heard of?
they certainly don't believe that they're no longer needed, and whether they are or not is still up for debate. I've never had use of them, but I've always been on that other side of the law. It seems others believe they can take jobs into their own hands, and I guess we will see how that goes. I know that not everybody is as capable as yourselves are when it comes to a fight, and with that in mind, I guess we will see.
With their normal work kind of being taken away, have any of them reached out to any of you or your contacts about perhaps making money in different ways than being on the other side of the law?
I anticipate that, but it has not come to fruition just yet. I'd imagine if the shield hands are low on business, they will either uproot and head to a city more understanding of their abilities, or rather want of their abilities, or a handful of them may walk right into the Red Hook and find other means of making their coin.
Well, if any of them wrong you, you have been a good friend to us, and we would like to return the favor and offer our services and free protection if the need ever arises. Please contact us, and we will come by cart or call. We will be here as quickly as we can.
Well, I appreciate that, and hopefully it doesn't come to that, but I'll keep you in mind if I have anything in particular that I need, and if you have any particular need of job, I'm sure I can put you to work. But that is entirely on your own accord.
Boat folk huddle?
Yeah.
You know those famous boat folk huddles? What should we be doing here? So should we go to Anchor Rahir, to Gray, Caston, Trilla?
I think back to Bryn, right? Isn't that where our weapons are waiting? And there's also an Ingiba post there that maybe we can like intercept and
Oh, Soup's familiar.
yeah, go back there. Then we gotta meet back up with Thecus. Where was Thecus at again?
Drilla.
Drilla.
I think if we start attacking the Ingiba outposts, we should try to do it like quickly, quietly, and
Yes.
instead of dramatically in a loud fashion, and see if we can, like we know there's a shield hand uprising, maybe make it look like
Ooh.
lawless mercenaries, so that we don't draw attention to ourselves, and we can keep getting closer to like the main source of power.
I love
Yeah.
that.
That's a good idea.
Should we go talk with who was the one that we talked with, the shield hand leader, and maybe we could like disguise ourselves and go talk to them as new shield hands maybe, and figure out what like their symbols are, and then we can like leave their like shield hand calling cards, like you know, like proper frame jobs.
I don't think we need to go and talk to them. Didn't they give us something that was like
Yeah.
said that we were shield hands?
A hard time, and then we didn't take that because
Some
Kata
of us
was
didn't
like,
take it. I thought you took it.
oh no, I don't.
Yeah, I
Can I
think
do
we
a
did.
history
It
check
was
in?
shiny.
Yep.
A7.
You gave them the bit nod.
So
Ah!
we have to go back to Brent.
To Bryn, wait, is there a
I pull out my punch card
Yeah.
for the cart before the horse, or whatever it's
Yes.
called.
Rumins? Nope.
It was something
Give me a
like,
second.
yeah.
Well, we should go check out this punch card, right? Like, it's good for a free ride now.
We'd still have to take a boat over there, right? Or is there a... Is there a bridge?
Oats at Rubens?
There's.
We
Are
took
you?
a
Who are
bo-
you asking me?
Yes,
As AJ the DM?
yes.
No, it's in.
We can certainly go find out. Either way, this punch card
There
is
was like,
good for a free ride.
I thought there was like a little bit of land that like touched that we could go over, but we wanted to get there faster, so that's why we took the boat. And there were like less boats. that,
Yes,
like,
the Finger
wanted-
Fjords.
Right?
I think that's what they're called, maybe. I might have just made that up.
Wow.
Now they're called that.
The Fjord of Adam.
Okay.
So, try and get some transport, and then
I think
head
so.
to Bryn?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have one more question that I need to ask Mr. Monocle though before we leave.
Sure. Do you want us here for that, or should we...
No, you guys like go to the bar, and I'll be there in a second.
Rounds on you?
Sure. And I toss you a platinum. Go wild.
Oh, that's 20 drinks!
Yeah.
Or like 100 drinks!
Go ahead.
Oh my god!
A lot of
I
drinks.
want one. I want one.
Oh my god!
I shift my Without a Trace off of everybody else, but keep it on me and just duck around the corner to eavesdrop on this conversation.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
I'm already at the bar.
You do not have your
Same.
10 anymore.
I'm right with you.
What's that?
You do not have your plus 10 anymore. That is
16.
Okay.
Have you had any word of the Silent Knights lately?
Make a perception check.
9.
And I'm like,
Because AJ needs some clarification. That is your...
Yes.
Okay. 9 is your perception check? Mm-hmm. Cool. So, Kata, you have full reign to the knowledge of this conversation. Because your passive perception is like, what, 17?
My passive perception is... Where is that? That's wisdom, right?
It should be on the bottom left.
Oh,
yeah.
there it is. Yeah, 17. Yes.
And what did you roll, Kata?
16.
Oh.
ooh.
You're aware of him listening to the conversation. But
Okay.
it's entirely up to you on whether or not you stop that.
I'm not gonna stop it, but I'm gonna be very mindful of what I say.
Okay. I think that's fair. And if that's fair for you too, Bob,
Yeah.
she can passively... your stealth roll was a... this is one of those situations where you guys are kind of rolling against each other, and I want to make sure it's like... makes sense mechanically, and I'm allowing it for the sake of this, but yeah. So, he goes, well, the Silent Knight has been missing for some time now. One of their higher echelon leaders, I believe, either was killed or taken prisoner or something, and I've not heard of them since, but they tend to pop up here and there, and because their groups are usually in some form of a duo, they tend to be a little bit more discreet than others. Why do you ask?
Just curious.
How do you know of this Silent Knight?
Just heard of them from around.
Deception check.
18.
He doesn't care.
Chicken. Don't be a bitch.
You can come be a bitch over here if you want.
Oh, she.
all the cats are all in trouble.
They were low.
Well, as I said, their leader isn't really... Rumor has it they've disappeared, or, like I said, were killed or taken prisoner of some kind. I'm not exactly sure the full story, and, well, I don't necessarily care all that much. They do good work, but they're hard to get a hold of.
When, or like where and when was the last rumblings that you heard of them interacting?
Well, the last rumblings were in believe hearing something from DeGray. And then, that they had some work in the Isles. And, they may have been heading away from the Tyran area in general. I know they specialize in larger cities, so I'd imagine heading to some of the larger cities on the other continents, the Old Republic area, may be enticing to them. But again, like I said, they tend to pop up when they want, and if you know of the Silent Night, you may know there's rumors that they have a number of sleeper agents in areas that kind of pop up and disappear. So I guess any of them could be active at any time.
Okay. Thank you for that information.
And if I hear you're heading to Bryn, I guess it's my due diligence to tell you to be careful. There is rumor that a Ingiba was killed up that way by a cat folk.
Oh.
And I'm not exactly sure of your escapades prior meeting me, but there's that. And Dragonborn was seen throwing axes and firing arrows,
Wow.
as well as I don't know, has Mr. Monocle seen your
No.
beer wedge lady? No? Okay. As well as a number of guards taking a bribe.
Oh. I mean, is that unusual though? Guards take bribes all the time.
Well, all of these situations were tied to one another.
Interesting. Okay.
Just be careful.
Will do.
Over from the bar, you just
You get the gist of
hear
it.
me
Yeah.
He knows.
chugging a beer while tossing Orla in the air, and she's just drinking the beer as she's going along.
If there's anything else I can do for your travels, let me know.
Do you have any suggestions for the fastest, safest way to get from here to Bryn?
Well,
Anything we
the
might be
fastest
aware of?
route would be over the bridge and probably by horse.
Okay.
As what?
Nothing.
Wait.
Over the bridge, far, far away.
Oh. It wouldn't be over the bridge and through the woods. Not,
To
dear
grandmother's
God,
house
make
we
me a
go.
bird so I can fly far, far, far away from here. Is that Forrest Gump?
I believe it's Jenna.
Boo. I just thought of that joke too. Alright, so
Yeah.
he goes, well, that would be your direct route. I do have this for you, if it should help any. And he hands you a folded piece of paper.
Okay.
Oh shit! Sorry, I didn't see any of that.
Yeah. She says, "Oh shit," from the bar. Almost spilled her drink. But then we just ordered another round. We're on a mission.
Yeah.
She's now trying to toss me.
Is this from you or was this from another party?
Well, when you were initially on your way out of town, I figured it could help. You seemed to have not known where a number of places were. And
That is accurate.
figured I'd actually left it on the table of the safe house you use, but nobody seemed to check there. So, there we are.
Much appreciated. I reach out to shake his hand and say, look forward to, if our paths were to cross again, I would look forward to doing business with you.
Well, like I said, I'll reach out if I have any need of you, and feel free to reach out if you're in the area and need any job.
Will do. Alright. And I go walk over to Kata and say, you ready to Ready to go, Kata?
Oh yeah.
Gave me a map, and I hand it to Kata for him to inspect.
It's like the worst thing you could have done as a character.
Why? I knew he was there, so I'm just like making a
he
point of
doesn't-
being like, hey.
Bob doesn't have a picture of the map. All right, hold on. We'll get it to you, Bob, or we'll just wait till next week.
Wait, we have technology. I can just take a picture of it.
No, that Jake.
Yeah, I just completely ignore the fact that there's a whole conversation, and I just look at the map and I'm like, cool, yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Surprised you weren't like, oh, that's cool. You know, like pretending you didn't hear the
No,
conversation.
that's totally not Kata though. He doesn't care if he's heard or not.
For sure, you're right.
All right. So should we go round up the rest of our friends and go get on some horses to get across this bridge?
We're dancing over by the bar.
Yeah,
Still
do you
trying
think
to
they'll
pick
come
that up.
easily, or do you think they're going to be
Marks.
difficult?
My tail.
Yes.
They look like they're pretty easy going right now.
You can either try and go talk to them, or you could disguise yourself as that beer lady and just yell free beer from outside, and they'll come running.
I do cartwheels.
I'm not going to disguise myself, but I will go outside and then just peek my head around the corner and go, free beer out here! Does
Orla,
Markson,
did you hear that?
I think they said 3 beer.
We've only used like a quarter of this platinum.
That's like
But it's
25
free.
years.
We wouldn't even need to use that.
Okay.
Save our money.
I'll take my claw and try and cut a quarter piece of platinum out of it. No. And then I'm just gonna set the whole platinum down on the bar and say, "This round's on Avengers. Enjoy."
We're boat folk.
And this round's on the Revengers. Bye. And I stumble outside.
As you stumble outside, make a perception check at disadvantage.
Oh no.
Gosh.
get a 1?
No, I got a 2. For a 5.
First one was a dirty 20. Second one was a 17.
She's been throwing them over her shoulder all night.
Oh,
Despite you being 6 sheets to the wind, you notice an individual. What is it normally? 4, 6? I don't know.
3.
3?
I think so.
It's just however many sails a boat has. Like that's where the term comes from.
So why are you questioning boat folk?
Yeah.
Because as you leave, you do notice a individual perks their head up when you say Revengers and then boat folk,
Oh.
as if you're correcting him.
But I said it while I was inside.
Yeah, in the bar.
Yeah. And they heard me while I was outside?
You said it while you were inside.
And the
as you were
person-
leaving, that person perked up when you said that as you guys were leaving.
Can I look?
Someone was in the bar.
So I saw that out of the side of my eye.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna look at them. Can I do a I would have to do it with disadvantage again, right?
You're looking at them as you perceived the person. You can look. You can ask.
Do I
what they
notice
look
who
like.
they are?
Yeah. You don't recognize them, but they, as you guys make eye contact, he quickly reverts his eyes and heads back to his card game with his fellow friend. They're playing cards.
What is
Drinking.
he wearing?
Just darker cloak,
Orla,
grays.
come on. We gotta go out to the free beers.
All right.
I mean,
So-
this was your like quick perception as you
Right.
were leaving. So you've
I walk
walked
on
out
out.
and you passed them.
Yeah,
you
I
got a
walk on
glance.
Like, guys, there's I think. Never mind.
Yeah, well,
All right, follow us.
You're so pretty. And little. Pretty little. Can I call you LP?
No. Let's go.
That would be a little pretty.
But she is, though.
You're talking to
Get it.
AJ now?
He has
Listen
now
here.
become Deadpool. And
And I,
breaking
He's
the
drunk and he
fourth
breaks
wall.
the fourth wall.
I say, listen here, tough guy. And I'm staring at a horse tied up outside of the tavern. You're cool. You're the real main event.
What time of
The
day
horse
is it?
goes, nay.
Unbelievably,
I
I
think that's funny.
don't seem as intoxicated as Marxus is.
He did spend 25 silver,
So I think that he drank a lot more than I did.
probably.
Kato, what'd you say?
What's the time of day here?
Well, you guys got out of the giant metal creature around dawn. You headed to the town square. Well, you got into the building. I'd say early afternoon.
Yeah.
It's like 1.
Yep.
All right, guys. We have our ticket to ride, right?
Yeah, we just gotta find that rental place.
Okay.
This is it.
So
Okay.
on the back of the card is the address for Ruve's Beasts of Burden. And you quickly find Ruve's Beast of Burden. Just on the outskirts of town, on the west side of, or the east side of the town, which would be the closest way to head to outside of the Tyran Triarchy, where you headed before.
I say, walk up and, hello, we are in need of a,
He goes, "Welcome to Ruve's Beasts of Burden. How can I help you?" And he's like looking at a piece of paper.
well, we are in need of a taxi service, and we do have here this punch card.
He goes, "If you have a good guy punch card," and he looks up and he goes, "Oh, what do you want?"
We just want to ride.
All right, yeah, just take it. Just go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go. I'll call the guards. I'll call shield hands.
No need. All right.
Just
well,
take it and
oh.
just take a horse and go.
Okay.
I don't care.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Fucking
Bye.
call him, bro.
And I'm gonna walk outside and get the closest horse and carriage and leave.
So you grab a horse and carriage.
Yes, so everybody can
Yep.
ride.
And you head. You hit the road. You gather up the crew. Well, not the crew, but the gang.
Yep.
The
I can't-
vendors.
That's what I have to keep like writing it as in my notes. It's like the gang does this, but then it just makes it sound like it's an
Am I allowed
It's
to do
Always
this?
Sunny in
Just show everybody?
Philadelphia
Okay.
episode.
It's always sunny in Brinadelphia.
That's what we should start doing for our Go Live. now.
In
It's like-
West Brinadelphia.
For the
The
first
gang
like, 5
vibes.
sessions, we have it that
We
way.
were good about it, but we got to keep it up.
Marxus, as soon as he gets onto the cart and feels like the movement beneath him, just falls right asleep.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna say something
Yep.
very different. We're in Holden right now,
Yeah, Constitution.
so we're gonna make our way up and to the bridge
Okay.
to Bryn.
As you head towards Bryn, you cross a bridge. You can see the open, kind of familiar landscape as you rode on the boat with Simon. The bridge is relatively a good size, but this you can tell comes to a point on both sides, much like the Andalusian Peninsula does with Africa. But there's a bridge connecting the 2 points, and I don't know if there is in real life, but I doubt it. So you are able to cross the bridge, and the bridge has a fair amount of guards on it. But they don't pay you mind. You're in the Triarchy. There's not a lot of issue there. And yeah, it takes you the better part of if you're going on by horse, I would imagine if you get to the bridge and it's probably nightfall.
AJ, also take into consideration I'm driving and I'm
Oh, yeah, yeah.
proficient at vehicles.
Okay, cool. Make a animal handling check for me, please, and add whatever proficiencies and or advantages you get for that.
Does my... They're animals?
Yeah, because they're horses.
Okay. Plus, there's no... It doesn't say any bonus for... It just says proficient in vehicles, so...
Okay. Okay, so that means you add your proficiency bonus, which is +3, I think, right now, at your guys' level.
Yeah, so 13.
Okay, cool. You're able to make it. You're on the other side of the bridge by the time nightfall happens. So you're just outside of Bryn. You're probably a few hours out. It's entirely up to you all if you want to make camp for the night or.
I think we should make camp for the night, and because a couple of us are gonna need disguises before we go into Bryn. Monocle said that the guard is on the lookout for a dragonborn who is throwing axes and a cat who killed a Nagiba.
As she says a cat, you just hear one big.
I only throw hand axes, so that should be fine.
Well, I think that's what they meant. I think they're looking for you.
Then we should be silent tonight while we hang out.
It's a good idea.
Why?
You two.
Okay. So
Why?
should we set up camp?
To have a silent night.
Oh God.
Yeah, the groan is real.
So. Yeah, we set up camp. I'm just strumming on my lute, propped up against a tree.
All right.
I'll take first watch with you.
Okay.
I know that you were really interested in looking in the cauldron when we were back there, and it's been a day, and I don't know if you would like to look in it now. I mean,
Oh my God. It would really mean everything to me.
so I take the cauldron out of my backpack and take the lid off.
Okay.
And I look inside.
And what are you looking for? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for. Well, I mean, I'm looking for my long lost love. That's who I'm looking for.
You looking for Siros?
Yeah.
Did you forget his name?
I did not.
Okay.
No, I was just trying to figure it out because you didn't necessarily ask Narnip like what she was looking for when she looked into it.
Well, I
you
mean,
know,
you're...
so.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was more of like what the cauldron like shows you,
Mm-hmm.
or if it was.
It is the scry spell.
Okay.
So, if you wouldn't mind rolling, roll a wisdom check for me, please.
21.
All right. So, as you are hanging out, you roll a perception check because you're the only one
Yep.
actually on watch.
18.
Okay. You slowly glance, or not glance, but stare into the pool, and you see the reflection of your face fade away as the liquid swirls around in blues and blacks and star-like glows appear. You head towards one of the starlight glows, and there are two right next to each other. Would you like to investigate one or the other?
I'm gonna they're like side by side.
Yeah.
I'm gonna investigate the one to my left.
As you investigate, you look into, and the glow becomes brighter and brighter as you venture closer and closer to the orb. You slowly start to see a outskirts of a forest. And you hear the long strum of a stringed instrument. As you venture into the forest through your sight, you see a small hatched hut built into the side of a kind of a rocky protrusion in the woods. On the porch of that is a figure sitting in a rocking chair, motionless. You see their blue skin with light blue tattoos and horns protrude. Their entire body seems to be covered in growth of vines, flowers, fungus. You get closer and closer to the being, and you see a fiddle on their lap. You see Cyros's eyes glowing a soft yellow. Just as you can look deep into his eyes, a hand reaches over the sight that you have, pulls your orb, and crushes it, and the image shatters.
I stumble backwards, and I literally can't even speak. I'm breathing very heavy and
Roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
but I get okay. So I'm immune. So on my Constitution,
You get
saving
advantage.
throws, I get advantage. Okay.
Only when it alright, so not this time.
Why?
Because I think your vaccination
You're
should
right.
only be for diseases, for acid, for poison, that kind of stuff.
I got a 6.
Okay. You just take 1 point of psychic damage as your image is shattered prematurely, and you weren't prepared for the severing of your vision and your body. It's just, what did I say, 2 points, 1 point?
1.
Yeah, 1.
Whew.
You were, yeah. All right, never mind. Let's save that for later. So yeah. What would you like to do for the rest of your watch?
I'm gonna sit myself down and just sit with my thoughts, and I'm just gonna be very, almost hold my knees and sit by myself and not speak.
I'm gonna see Orla doing this and say, "That cauldron, huh?"
And I'm literally just gonna nod my head up and down very slightly.
I'm gonna reach over and just give her a little pat on her shoulder and leave her to her thoughts. And scan our surroundings.
Okay.
Damn!
With an 18, your watch goes without. There's a few people on the road late at night. Another cart passes you. I don't know if you guys are right off the road or not, but if you are, I'm assuming that's the case. Another cart passes. A couple on horseback coming the other way, away from Bryn. It's relatively late night travel, but that's not absolutely out of the norm. It's just a little bit more rare. You guys gonna want to take a second watch?
I'm gonna go over to Kata. Yeah. Or no, I'll go over to Marxus and slap his face.
I
He's
pop
been
open,
sleeping for a while.
bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, like I just had a great sleep and 0 alcohol whatsoever. I'm just awake perfectly. You would have no idea that I had 25 drinks.
You've got next watch.
Sure. How'd the first one go?
Uneventful.
Cool. We'll get right on that then.
We're gonna need to disguise you before we go into Bryn, so think about what you want to be disguised as, because the guard's gonna be looking out for a cat that killed a Nagiba,
Oh no, it's not me.
but they think it's you.
It's a problem for them. Really a problem for all of us, but mostly a problem for me. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do some looking around, do some thinking on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah. You have a good night too. Whoa, what's up with her?
Cauldron.
Cauldron got to her man.
Oh. Well, if you ever need a refill of that juice in there, let me know.
I don't think you need to refill. All right. Good night. Keep an eye out. Good night.
Okay.
Going to bed.
Okay.
I'm just gonna kind of curl up where I was at and just
Fall over.
fall asleep. Yeah.
How long does watch? 4 hours?
Sure.
I'm gonna do 4 brews.
Oh yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, sure, yeah, I don't know. All right. Roll them up.
12, 9, 16. 10. And then I'm going to use key point to make them all succeed. And it's going to be 2 Fey Frambois and 2 Cuppa Quicklings.
Cool. All right. Okay, so
Did I
don't
get a
have to look
long
at
rest
anything.
while I was on the cart?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Cute.
But you were down 4 key points. So like you start your day with 4 instead of 8. Cool. All right. Roll a perception check for me. Or while you're not really paying attention while you're brewing, so never mind.
Well, I mean,
Roll a
it's like-
d12 for me.
there's some downtime.
Roll a d12 for me.
Well, shit.
Fuck, I don't like this
Roll
sound.
a perception check at disadvantage. Nice, that rolled.
Guards are just gonna come right up to us and press
It's a
it.
Oh,
natty 1, baby.
No.
And roll a d12 that lands in your roll tray.
Yeah, that one won.
Do you guys need bigger roll tray? Like,
I don't have the size of this table.
That's a 10.
you should bring my other. Just bring my other one. 9 by 9. 10? That was a 10 too, by the way.
I just love this
Um,
one
I know.
so much.
So, after you're brewing, and there seems to be an individual that walks up to you partway through, and he goes, "Well, what you brewing? Smells awfully good."
Yeah. Don't even think that it's weird. Just like, kind of just being like, oh, you're interested in what I'm doing? Hell yeah. I've got, well, I'm working on a couple quicklings, and then a couple of fake framboises, and I'm pretty good at it. Wait, where'd you come from? Who are you?
Just walking down, and he's got a pack on. It's like a super big, like it's not like Zelda big.
I was
but-
gonna say, I immediately thought that. I was like, is it the guy from Zelda?
either Zelda or the Labyrinth.
Oh, yeah.
But
Oh, I love it.
he's got a big old pack on, and it's got like he's just night walking, I guess, hiking around, and he goes, "Well, wait, what did you ask? I forgot."
Where'd you come from? What are you doing out here?
Well, I'm just on my way down to Holden, and saw some family up in Bryn.
Oh, that's where we're going.
Oh, it's the closest place, so that makes sense.
Yeah, you're funny. I'm gonna do an insight check on this guy.
Sure.
That is a 17.
He seems weird, and probably not all that trustworthy. But-
I'm going to offer him a beer.
Okay.
And I pull out one of 9 bottles that I have in my pack.
Okay.
And I say, this right here is a really nice stout taught to me by a dwarf that lived underground and called themselves Dungadiers, Dunkaroos, what do they call them? You know what I'm talking about.
I don't, but thank you, sir.
Yeah.
He pops the bottle off and gives it a whiff, and he goes, "Oof, that does not smell good.
It's
Did
like
you drink this?"
had one last night.
Well, no offense, kind sir, but do you mind having some of mine before I have some of this?
That music. Though.
Like, yeah, right. He
Well.
would like some of the beer that you gave him
Oh,
to make sure it's not like it'd be like a weird thing to just like he's accepting drinks from strangers.
Oh, I-
yeah,
but he wasn't
absolutely.
trustworthy to begin with.
No, 100%. Yeah, that's super weird. Middle of the night, I'm brewing beer. I'm offering you a dark liquid. Absolutely.
A dark liquid.
You're rolling lots
That
of
was
dice.
good. Take a
Make
sip.
it, yeah.
Do a Constitution saving throw? 19.
Cool.
Almost a nat 20. That close.
Oh
It was
my
boom.
He rolled a 2 on his Constitution saving throw when he drinks it. What is your passive perception?
Passive perception is 13.
13. Okay.
Very wise.
So he drinks it and he goes, spits it out and he goes, "That is, yeah, I can't believe you drank that. That is awful." And he hands it back to you and he slaps you on the shoulder and says, "That's the worst. Why would you give that to someone?"
How loud is this guy?
He's just vocal. I don't know. You guys
Is
are
it like
fine.
loud enough that like somebody who is sleeping
Yeah.
is able to like hear?
I think I'm embellishing it a little bit, but if
Okay.
you guys want to hear and wake up, you're more than welcome to.
Hey, well, that's rude.
Like, if he woke you up and you guys were like, "Get the hell out of here," and then went back to sleep, it's not going to interrupt your sleep. Like, you can have
Okay.
sporadic waking up moments in rest, but you can't do any, like, you basically, for all of your long rest, you have 1 hour's worth of time where you can be not asleep, but you just can't be doing anything that requires rolls. So, like, if something
And if
woke
it
you up
was
in the middle of
something
the
that
night,
was
you
requiring
investigated
a
it.
roll, you would be awake. Like that would
You'd be-
disrupt. You wouldn't be able to get a
you
long,
wouldn't be
take
able to
a
get
long rest.
Yeah, exactly.
What
Got
race
it.
is this individual?
He is a small gnome.
Cool. I got like looks on that one to be like, what does this
High
person
gnome
look
Yeah.
population in this area.
Okay.
There is. Interesting.
Quite the nomenclature around here. Boo. Well, that's rude. I pulled that out of a cauldron myself.
Oh, well, that was probably your problem. I'm sorry,
Oh,
sir.
what are you, a homebrewer, huh?
Yeah,
I don't think it's real easy to just step onto the cauldron and kettle and figure it out, huh?
all right, man. I'm sorry I bothered you. I thought I'd get a beer out of it, but I guess I got this, whatever you call it. I'll be on my way.
This voice is my favorite.
I
By
really
the
wish I
way.
still had that creature in the bottle. So I've been like, you're right. Here's a better one.
Oh my god. That would have been terrible.
Well, I'm sorry, man. It's just I just thought it was rude. I think that people think I'm good at this, but I'm really not.
Okay.
And
And he
so
just
I-
starts walking away as you're mumbling to yourself.
thank
He
God.
wants to get out of there.
Okay. Bye. Unless you have anything to trade, I have coin.
Bye.
Nothing.
Okay. So, what would you like to do for the rest of your watch? So you brew. You finish your brew.
Yeah.
All right. So, the morning rises.
I wake up. Can I just eat a ration in silence?
You don't have to ask permission to eat a ration in silence.
I'm not asking permission.
Oh, I thought you said can I?
I literally I just said I am. So
All right.
yeah. I'm just gonna sit here in silence.
Like search for food and supplies just in the general area.
Make a nature check because you're gonna like go forage, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody
20.
nature.
20. Your something about your vision too is when you heard this the fiddle, the strings. It was the same strings noises that you heard in the middle of the night. When you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right, all right, cool. I like how I can just be like that, and you guys are like, oh, all right, background story without, impacting it. So yeah. 20. You find yourself 5 rations.
Is this coast or forest?
It's coast, and I took that into account. It's not like a lot of stuff around. I mean, you're off the side of the road, but you're able to find some roadside like plants. Nothing meat wise out there, but
Oh.
yeah, it's not necessarily a wild area. You're kind of on a beaten path road. If you guys wanted to venture further away from the road, there would be a higher option for that, but that's, yeah.
So I'm gonna pull out my disguise kit and turn to Marxus and say, "So, what did we decide on?
Minotaur.
A minotaur?
Yeah, like a mini Taurus. You know, like a bull.
Yeah,
bull human.
no,
Yeah, minotaur.
I know what a minotaur is. So we're trying to like be discreet, and you want me to disguise you as a minotaur.
You're trying to just make him a bull.
Yes.
He's already furry.
I'm just gonna slow blink at Marx.
Oh, I'll be your friend all day.
What is like the closest race that resembles a tabaxi?
Are there bull people?
Ooh,
Minotaur.
I know.
A minotaur?
No, she asked if they're bull people.
Oh, but they are minotaurs?
There's minotaurs.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna actually turn him into a bull. Like, just put horns on him. Like he's furry.
Just a cat bull.
All right. What about?
I just got a cool idea for a character.
What about?
Some cat.
What about
How about what?
a tiefling?
I guess a Leonin would be close to a...
Tiefling is the
They're
one
just like a
with the
giant
horns.
lion person.
Yeah, give me a main cut.
Perfect.
A bugbear, but they're a monster.
And I pull out my scissors and start. I said, "Are you cool with this being like a little bit more lasting and looking like a lion person for a little bit?" I don't know how fast your fur grows back.
Neither. I've never done it.
Are you cool with a haircut?
Just give me 1 minute. Okay, I'm cool with it.
Okay. And I start cutting.
Make a
Ooh.
performance check.
Okay. 5.
When you're done,
Can I help her by like preening myself?
Oh,
Sure.
my lord.
she can make a performance check with advantage now because you
Oh.
helped her.
Okay.
Lord.
Oh, that's much better. 18.
Okay,
Woo!
Thank God.
you don't cut
One
him.
snip and then no.
Yeah, you don't cut him.
Ooh.
But from the shoulders to the waist, because I imagine you didn't strip him down to do this.
No.
He basically has it's like a short fur cat on all those spaces. Because you have long fur. So you have a long fur mane that comes up. You're basically, she didn't touch any of your head, but your body and your arms are trimmed down, but you have cuffs of long fur, and on the tip of your tail, you have a bulb of long fur.
Yes. Huge ball.
But your swim trunks region is all still long fur. She isn't going there.
What about?
No. You're gonna need to not wear these Nagiba robes anymore either.
No, that's why I'm
Oh,
wearing.
yeah,
these.
you're okay. You're good.
Isn't his tail dyed a certain color too? Didn't you guys
Yes.
do something permanently to him? Or
Oh.
shave his tail? You shaved his tail. Psych, there's no
Oh,
bald on
yeah,
it.
because
Your
you were a
tail
rat.
is just
You were a rat.
still your tail is
Yeah, right.
still shaved.
Whoops.
So you have this rat tail.
Whoops.
But
We
then
can
I'm
say it
going to
happened in a
take the
fire.
fur that I cut off of him, and I'm going to glue it on to the tip of his tail to give him that.
Okay, cool. You reach into your
Nice.
your Michael's
That's
kit,
good.
and gain. You glue it on there. That's okay. Cool.
I'm forging at this point. I look at this group. I look at Marxist. I'm like, "Eh, that's pretty good. Do I get to disguise?
What would you like to be disguised as?
Minotaur.
Minotaur. That's a great idea.
You could probably be a tiefling.
And I just start
Closest
yelling,
thing.
"Taste the beast!"
Minotaur.
A minotaur?
Right. I'm not saying one thing or another. You can make him.
What
You can
movie is
disguise
that
him
from?
whatever you
Where
want.
The energy drink is Minotaur.
Uh,
And if they taste the
role
beast?
models.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right. I'm gonna look around and find some thicker sticks that are horn-like, and like kind of whittle them so that they are more passable. What else does it? And then I'm gonna gather up the leftover fur that I didn't use for Marxus's tail, and
You can use this, and I pull out 2 torches, and I break the tips of them off and put the tips of them back in, and give you 2 perfect horns, kind of
Okay.
thing.
hello.
What do your torches look like?
They're curled.
Why?
They're like ram's horns.
Just so I
Sure.
understand this point correctly, I have the hair made of horns on my head.
You have no. The horns are gonna be either, I guess, from these torches, and then since minotaurs are furry, I'm gonna use the fur from Marxus to like glue some to make your head look furry, like like a
See.
bull's head.
I was just thinking you take your current hair horns and do a nice Holden braid on each side.
Oh, okay. I can try it.
Marcus already snapped his torches in half, so
Okay.
you do you. You're the artist.
I take my torches back and I put them in my pack, broken.
But
Alright.
also a minotaur. Hang on a
All
second.
right. I'm just gonna
Cloven
roll.
hoof.
Just roll.
It's a bowl from the waist down
And then a human.
from the neck up, and then there's a human torso.
Because I have Marxus collaborating with me on this disguise, do I get an advantage? Because he's
How are you
helping?
helping?
I'm describing what Minotaur is, and also am providing materials. I'm basically just an assistant. I can run and get coffees. I can go pick up her dry cleaning. I can drive her.
I don't necessarily think he's helping you all that much.
I'm just mostly getting in the way.
11
I'm sorry.
for
11.
Kata.
Yikes.
Kata, you have some fur glued to your face. And your nest of horns is kind of put up in a ponytail? Or what are the pigtails that kind of like come up?
Mm.
You're still white. You're still scaly in most of your body. You have your armor on. And you don't have a tail.
But he doesn't look like Kata, really. You look
He doesn't look
kinda-
like Kata.
You look unrecognizable. You might not
That's the
look.
point.
You might not look like the perfect Minotaur, but you don't look like the Dragonborn that was throwing hand axes.
Yeah,
in the
you
alley.
look like a dragonborn at
So,
Comic-Con.
You're welcome.
I
Dragonborn at
I little puddle of water and I look at myself and I'm like, yeah, thanks, Narnet. And then I walk over towards Marxus and I'm like, man, your costume's way better than mine.
Yeah, well, I mean, she had a lot to work with, but also, I think she just expelled a lot of energy into mine, and I think she did a great job, man. You look great. So great. So What are you again?
What am I?
Ask Kata. What are you?
Job.
Oh! Yeah, miniature Taurus, got you. Okay. So we should probably...
I know.
Chicken looked at me as soon as I said that, like, you bet. Yes, we definitely don't look like a dragon and a cat next to each other.
That's fair.
And I think that's, like, our whole goal
Yep.
here. So,
You're welcome.
yeah. High five.
I give him like the tiniest pat. Like I
Shh.
go like this. No, it's just gonna be like. There you go. I gingerly touch my fingertips to his ball
Gingerly.
very
You
quickly.
gingerly touched it.
Oh.
It's also from robots.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, when they're LARPing.
Oh
Let us
my
gingerly touch
god.
our tips. All right. So as you are probably a few hours outside of the city, what would you like to do?
Head into the city.
Okay.
Yep.
So after some time, you make your way.
How long did it take for her to do his disguise?
Roll a d6 for me.
1.
It took her 15 minutes.
You can try to brew
They were
it.
going to be increments of 15, so I was you had an option.
While riding on the cart, can I short rest? Just 1 hour.
Yeah, if you guys are, yeah. Do you need short rest? Oh, you get your key points back.
Sure do.
Sure do. All right.
So we should go to Bimnotten's first, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Then we'll make a plan.
You make your way to the egg market, the familiar attack site where Talgan fell. And you walk up to the gates, and there are several guards standing vigilantly by, greeting individuals as they step into the Anchor of Bryn. Is there any... You notice this on your approach, so is there anything that you would like to do, or would you simply like to get in line to get accepted?
So I would say who's driving is me and Narnip, and then Kata and Marxus are in the back. So and have them just looking down, you know, not necessarily, even though they're unrecognizable. You
Do
never
I
know.
see any of the Euro meat stand?
No Euro meat stand.
We're not in there yet, so.
Well, at the egg market,
Oh,
is the
yeah, that's right.
outskirts of the... Sorry, I don't mean to correct you on this nonsense
Please
lore.
do.
this weird little lore drop here.
Also, I'm only speaking in primordial at this point as my Minotaur self.
Dope.
Smart.
Cool. Okay.
I don't understand primordial, so just.
You do?
And you can
I
refer
don't.
to me as Regan Planestalker.
He says in halfling. No, I'm
Yes.
just kidding.
Studied abroad there. Picks up some of the lingo.
Yes.
Wait, is it a halfling?
Yes.
Okay. No one understands. So, as your turn comes up, the guards stop you and say, right, do you have yourselves a writ for the city?
A what? I'm sorry.
A writ of passage.
We did. And I don't know if you were out last night. It was so windy and it blew away.
There is a large gust.
Right.
I'm so sorry.
Hey, got another one. And another guard walks up and goes, all right, so, the other guard is kind of inspecting your carriage. He goes, all right, what are you here for? And, what you doing? What you carting?
We are coming to visit my dear friend Bimnotten. She has a shop in town. We are picking up some goods that she has custom made for us.
It was a bit, not, can you spell that?
BIBPM Nottin.
All right.
Nice.
Oh, okay. All right. And you're here to pick up goods, so
Yes.
the carriage is empty, or?
No, we have two of our friends that are riding along with
Okay.
us.
Okay. And the other one circles, and the other guy kind of gestures and looks over at you and says, "Well, why are you all riding in the back?"
I start speaking in halfling. I am Regan Planestalker. I only ride or stalk the plains. Do they understand me?
He responds in halfling. I rolled for it.
Oh, shit. Oh my
He
god.
goes, I'm just gonna make it sound like you. Well, Regan, it's nice to meet you, and understandably so. Which is like not a very halfling approach
It's
to
not.
speaking at all.
Yes, friend, I see you too have studied the wonderful language of halfling.
I have.
May your toes be forever furry.
Forever. And leans and looks over at Kata.
Oh,
He
what?
So, what of your friend here?
He does not speak the halfling. He does not speak the common.
What's his deal?
He is simply my protector.
I'm gonna roll an
The guy
investigation
in
check.
Primordial, I say, I love teriyaki jerky. And inside, I know there is meat on a rotisserie.
What does primordial sound like, Bob? And think of it as I don't know. You want me to read the description?
I know it's like a guttural, grunty.
You want to give it a shot?
No.
Okay. All right. So you say something, and along the lines of what sounds like guttural, growling and rocks crushing together at the same time.
What the?
It's strange that you can.
What?
Yeah. It's like the sound and speech of elementals is what like that is. So you hear that, and then you hear the word teriyaki, and then you hear more of the crunching. And imagine there's not a word for teriyaki in primordial,
That's
so
hilarious.
there's that.
Please, my furry-footed friend. He, of cloven hoof, is very rarely known to speak, but he requests only one thing to serve in me, for me. Meat. Specifically, meat tornadoes of teriyaki flavor and form, of which we know there is inside.
He goes, well, all right, well, you should check out Aaron's. They have,
Errands.
yep, Aaron's. Just keep it down a little bit, all right? We're not supposed to be kind of fraternizing. I'm just supposed to act. Check out Aaron's. You'll not be disappointed.
Is that with an E or a double A?
It's Arryn.
That confuses me. But I
He
appreciate
steps away. He goes, oh, yep, they're good. So you guys kind of gestures you in, and you are able to enter the city.
Oh my lord. How?
Regan Planestalker requires no explanation.
All right,
Shut up.
go drop off this cart.
As the cart goes through the gates, I stand on it like superhero pose
Oh
on
lord.
the back.
Is it a covered cart?
We've been.
I guess I didn't think of that.
No,
No.
I don't think so.
Okay, well then they would.
I didn't imagine it
They
to
would have.
be.
They would have seen you anyway, so that makes sense.
Be like, we decided we were gonna do this undercover, like lay low. That's what I say.
Discretion.
Regan Planestalker seems to have figured out this ruse.
Are you shouting in halfling
Just
still?
great.
No, I'm talking to them in common, but just
Oh.
as Regan
Oh, okay.
Planestalker.
Oh, all right.
What'd you say, Kata?
Oh, I thought that was just the halfling dialect.
I just laid down in the car.
Oh, to lay low. Got it.
Does a dragonborn lay down normal, or do they lay down like a cat or a dragon or like a beast would?
Like a floating loaf.
Like, do they curl up, or do they like?
Claws out, claws in.
They,
I imagine claws out. Nowhere to put them.
yeah, no, they don't curl up like a beast. They just lay flat in what would appear to be the most uncomfortable position. Just rigid, like,
I am sleeping now.
yeah.
All right,
Put him in a cup.
so you lay down.
I love sleeping like that.
You all head through the Priest Valley district, and I believe that's where Hypnoton is, if I recall. It's in the Priest Valley. All right, cool. So after some time, you make it way to a corner shop that has a number of doodads and trinkets in the windows and all kinds of clockwork automaton kind of swirls and widgets. What would you all like to do?
Enter.
As you walk in, a small Rube Goldberg machine triggers, and it moves a dial which swings over, and an axe swings and cuts another cord, and then this big bell in the middle kind of ding, 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 and nobody is answers.
I'm gonna do a perception check to see if anything seems like askew or out of the ordinary. 17.
You see Bipnotten with a small hammer hiding behind one of the desks, and in front of her are two little tin men
Oh.
that are like probably 6 inches tall, and they seem to be made of these tin shields that she acquired, and she has taken your tin shields that were your shield hand badges and made them into little tin men that are like marching in a very automaton robotic way. And she goes, "Hello!" and she runs up and smashes them both, and they both shatter into pieces.
How's it going?
Steve, how are you?
Good. Good to see you. Why did you break those?
Well, I built them, and then I figured, what good are they?
Okay, that sounds right.
That's on brand.
How have you been in like the past couple weeks?
Well, I've been good. I finished your axes about 15 minutes since you left, and then you weren't anywhere around, so I've been keeping myself busy, but there seems to be a lot of commotion going on, and I'm not sure if it's safe for you to be here anymore.
What's going on?
Well, she like leans over and whispers over to you and basically says something along the lines of like, yeah, you're probably wanted. She knows you have like your guises and everything else, and I'd imagine she's familiar with the beer wench. It's like you guys go out to the bar.
Sure.
So yeah, she tells you that it's probably not the safest place to be in here, and there's a number of people looking for one of your aliases,
Okay.
at least.
All right. So I won't. Thank you. We knew that. Hence, they're like, look at how good they look. Do you recognize them even?
Oh, yes, that's the cat, and that's the dragon man, but he does not look very good.
He doesn't look like the dragon man anymore.
She goes, that's very true. And here you are, Mr. Dragon Man. And she hands you a hand axe that has this sheen on the blade that you've never seen sharp.
Oh my gosh.
I will make this item for you, but basically it is a +1 hand axe. It's not considered a magical item or a magical weapon, but it's +1 to attack, +1 damage hand axe, and it crits on 19 and 20.
Damn.
Fuck. Dope.
And then she hands you 3 arrows that are the same. They're +1 arrows. They crit on 19 and 20 because they have been with the blot steel, which is the super sharp steel that has been melted down, and then basically she explains that to you. Well, you can't touch it, and you can't bend it, and you can't move it around. So what I did was melt it down, put it in an axe. The axe, it froze to the axe, my own brain.
Fused.
Melt it down, it forged to the axe, and then you have the axe, it's blended with that, and it's covered and super sharpens right away.
Pick up the axe. And I look around for something that seems cheap, but big.
But big?
Yeah.
Your disguise.
There's, I mean,
Works really hard on that.
make an investigation check. While I think.
14.
You see a enormous gear that seems to be rusted sitting in the corner, and it's like probably 5 feet in diameter, just leaning up against the wall.
As soon as I grab the axe, I turn around and I slice at that gear with it.
You slice, and it like a knife through a hot knife through butter. You slice through the bronze material that it's made of with no problem. And she goes, "Oh, I can use this part this way." And she goes and grows and reels the other half down, and she goes and takes it to the back.
I love that.
I'm standing there with my axe and my new arrows, and I look at the group. How do you think I store these things?
I don't know.
Great question. Bip!
Just always holding it out.
Hey, Bip!
Yes.
How do we store these weapons?
Well, I'd imagine here. And she hands you a quiver, but that is very similar to our quivers in real life, AJ and Bob. So like it snaps to the side as opposed to being in the carrying case, so that the blade doesn't actually have to touch anything. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And then she hands you something similar to the and attaches it to the side of your pack. So you will have an axe that is not on your hip, but facing out from the pack. But it snaps in so that, again, the blade isn't resting on anything. It's kind of out.
So I become an overland vehicle.
Yep. Your pack is an overland vehicle,
Yeah, okay.
which I feel like it already was.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
So I snap all my pieces in and say thank you.
She says, "Well, you're very welcome. Is there anything I can help you out with, or should you leave now?"
One more question. Orla, can you show her that ball that you have? Did you show that to her before?
No.
Yeah, I think you
Oh,
have.
you did? Okay.
Oh, the sphere.
Yeah, and she told you it was part of
Okay.
the interior, but she has never seen one.
She'd
before.
never seen it, so she really couldn't give me that much. But what about the power pearl? But we've already established
Yeah.
what that is. Okay.
We're good.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Regan Planestalker has but one question for you.
What is the cat man doing?
He is a lion man, Bip.
He's playing a part.
He's in disguise.
Okay.
I'm playing a role.
What is your question?
Sure.
Hi. Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
You probably didn't know. So the disguise is really good. Much better than his. I was wondering, do you happen to have any extra chisels around? I broke my chisel in episode 1. And I was just wondering if I could maybe get a new one, maybe a new set of Tinker's tools. I would happily pay you for them.
She hands you Tinker's tools. You take Tinker tools, put them back in your inventory, take out whatever they cost in the player's handbook.
Nope.
And I'm gonna give her a platinum and say thank you so much for the axes and the arrows and for everything.
Well, you're welcome. I really must insist that you be going.
Yep.
There's some commotion that's been going on. I'm not sure if you've seen these. And she holds up, and there is it's like a flyer or a poster that is anti-shield hand propaganda that has been.
Well, we're not shield hands, Bip, so it's fine.
She's like, "Oh yes, I'm very
Much aware.
yeah, I'm very much aware, and that's exactly why I'm showing you this. So you might be in a little bit of trouble."
Oh. Okay. Why?
Well, I've heard some things about your recent adventures.
Oh. How recent of my adventures have you heard of?
Well, here, just take the poster or take the flyer, and
Okay.
you'll see. If you do need anything, let me know, and I can find my way to you if I absolutely need to. But
We don't want to cause you
We can
any
figure that-
harm, so we'll leave.
yeah,
draw attention.
It's really for your safety, not mine. I'm more than safe.
I know.
Do you have a metal? Sorry, Bimnon. Do you have any type of like metal bar or anything that I could like swing around and hit people with?
Oh yeah, because you gave away your candelabra. She looks over and she's like, "There's these," and there's literally like a rack of just metal bars that she would like solder or not solder, but weld into another to make things out of. But it's just like bar stock.
Like rebar?
Yeah, like rebar or like corner. We're not gonna talk about all the different kinds of cool metals. Yeah, there's poles, whatever you want.
Can I do an Arcana check on just like the general thing and see if I pick up anything like magical?
Roll
about
an
any
Arcana
of
check.
them? 5.
You're aware that bars can be magical.
Wait.
An Arcana check is
I'm
not,
gonna reach into my
not
pack
to
and
detect
pull out-
magic.
And pull out a small pack, small pouch, and pull a pinch of this Viridian pearlescent powder out of it, and put it in my hand and kind of rub it around, and then
And it dusts up and swirls around, and this iridescence fills the room. And you can all see the iridescence in the room. There is absolutely nothing aside from the things on your person
That are magical.
that are magical. I think
Interesting.
the only thing that you notice that you know that you don't know is magical that glows is the gold ring Kata has on.
yeah.
Yeah.
you
Do you not see what's happening here?
Pretty iridescent. And this is glowing.
No, yeah. The more you move your hand around, it's following your ring around, man.
And the glow moves like that, like it's like it slowly patterns as you move, and your items too. If you were to like take the pearl and move it around, it's like pearl, 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 pearl.
Do this a lot in front of him to see if he'll follow my hand.
I grab the heaviest, longest piece of metal bar that I can. Hopefully one that's maybe 8 feet and 25 pounds.
Cool. You grab a 8-foot and 25-pound piece of metal. You're more than welcome to that if you'd like.
Hey, Mimnon, do you have any smith tool, perhaps, that I could pick up off you?
We'll say, for the sake of general store stuff, if you guys want to pick up any smith tools or anything else like that from her, she has them.
Cool.
And basically any tools. If you guys wanted to buy any tools right now, you can. Any tools that you think you may need or want need or whatever.
I'm good.
Same.
Cool.
We should probably get out of her hair.
Yeah.
Yep.
We don't want to draw attention.
As we're walking out, I'm gonna look at the poster. Is it in
Make a investigation check.
Oh shit.
16?
The poster is very like you can like very propaganda, classic propaganda poster, like wartime poster. And I know it's not wartime, but it's like, are these the people that you want doing your jobs? Kind of mentality, and it's like shield hands, boom, bam. And then you look on the back of it, and you see a symbol drawn on it, and it has the same symbol that was handed to you by Ravina Lacey, the officiate of Holden. And that's where we're going to leave off this week.
Ah.
All right.
So, thank you all very much for watching. We are Roll for Revelry. That has been our episode. We will be back here on our campaign airs Sundays 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we will have our hangover on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Our hangover is a kind of an after show little breakdown of the episode. Everything that we learned, get to talk about. We kind of probably will break down your dream, maybe the Bitnaughton thing. We'll break down some other things too and kind of talk about that. So yeah, please join us for that. And otherwise, join us for Sundays, 2 p.m. Eastern Time for our campaign.
Yes.
If you enjoyed what you watch, please consider supporting the show. You can support first and foremost by following. If you do already, please feel free to reach out to somebody else. Passing that word along goes a long way for us. If you can check us out here on Twitch. You can check us out on YouTube for past episodes. We're pretty frequent on Twitter. We have a TikTok now. We're working on our Instagram. So we're going to be where all the things are. And lastly, we did make affiliate. Thank you all very much for all of your hard work and helping us do just that. With that in mind, we'll be doing a giveaway here, I think in the next week or so. We need to get some things squared away on the administrative side end of things, and then we'll be doing that. So thank you all very much for that, and we look forward to that. And then lastly, if you do have a show or product that you'd like to promote or want to sponsor an episode, feel free to reach out to us on Twitter as a direct message or on Twitch as a direct message as well. And we will be working that into our podcast aspects too. And then that leads us off on that. We will be putting on this episode, starting this episode, will be the first podcast episode. It will be preluded by a quick breakdown of the first 16 episodes that we had. And by quick, I mean as quick as we can. Just kind of giving you a gist of things. And because our production quality has is grown since we first started doing our thing, much thanks to Dan here. That we decided to hold off on the podcast aspect of it until we can at least get to there. So again, thank you all very much. I apologize for being long-winded, but thank you all very much. We will see you Tuesday and or Sunday.
Yeah.
So thanks for rolling by. Ooh. I don't know. We
Bye,
got to work
guys.
on the sign off.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Yes.